guys. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. So, remember last week when I accidentally said, thank you for joining me for the Craft with Me Live? Well, tonight I'm going to say it, but I'm going to mean it. We will not be having a live sale as far as I am aware at the moment. I am behind in a couple of things. I was not feeling well for a couple of days. I am behind on invoicing you guys. So instead of just invoicing you today, and knowing that I wouldn't even be at the point to ship for a few more days, I think I will hold off invoicing and invoice you guys tomorrow after I get some stuff done tonight. And that way we'll be closer to just shipping those boxes once you guys pay. But anyway, I know a lot of you guys have reached out to me. You have said, hey, I didn't get an invoice. Don't worry. No one got an invoice yet for last week. Invoices were supposed to be done on Friday. However, I knew they weren't going to get done on Friday because we did German scrap on Tuesday or Thursday, or we did German scrap one day last week. And when I did German scrap, you guys bought a ton of it during the live sale. And so thank you very much for those of you who were there, who were present, and who purchased all of the German scrap. After the live sale ended, I had so many more requests, which I did kind of talk to you guys about during the German scrap sale, that if I ended up getting a lot of requests after the sale was posted, that it would take me longer to process. That is what happened. We got so many requests for the German scrap that I actually had to already reorder, even though I know I was not planning on reordering until next year. So that's already happened. The new shipment is on its way. I'm still processing everybody that claimed live and adding all of the people who asked to be added to certain packages. As much as I currently have in stock, and then I will hold the rest until it arrives. It only takes 10 days or so to get here. As long as customs is nice to me, it takes 10 days. But anyway, so it is taking longer to process because of German scrap. That, and then over the weekend, I had a horrible migraine. So that put me in bed for 2 days. That's where I've been. That's what's happening. It's all okay. Don't stress out. I just I don't want to bill you guys and take your money when I know I'm not at the point of, being reasonably close to processing it. So just bear with me till tomorrow. Tomorrow I will invoice you all, and then I will be able to start shipping. Probably on Friday is the earliest things are going to leave here. I will ship tomorrow because some of you guys had, so let me clarify that. Some of you guys were a little late paying your invoice. No big deal. But when you're late paying your invoice, your packages sit here until I ship again. So for those of you who may have paid in the last week or so, your packages, along with a bunch of Etsy packages, are leaving here tomorrow morning. The stuff that I'm invoicing you tomorrow for will leave Friday, Saturday, and then on Monday again. So you'll have some time. I don't care if it's taking you a couple days to pay the invoices. Totally good with that. Just letting you know where we're at. Everything's good. My daughter and her baby are good. Everything's good. It just, sometimes you don't I thought German scrap was going to be really popular, and it was. It was just not everyone was able to join on the Thursday. I'm finding on Thursdays it's kind of like hit and miss. And Thursdays are kind of new. Like I used to just sell on Tuesdays, and then I added Thursdays probably, I don't know, 3 months ago or something, 2 months ago, I don't know. But anyway, Thursdays are kind of hit and miss. We don't know, I never know what should I bring on Thursday and what should I bring on Tuesday. I'm trying to figure that out with you guys. But anyway, so that's where we're at. You'll get an invoice tomorrow. Packages will start leaving on Friday. Depending on what you have, if you are someone who added on German scrap later, you might have a little delay in getting your package shipped, just because I am waiting for some German scrap. If it ends up where I have to wait 10 days, I will reach out to you guys and let you know. Sometimes whenever I have things shipped from Europe, they'll send me a tracking number, and that package leaves their place that day. And sometimes they'll send me a tracking number, and they have kind of a similar system to me. Sometimes they put the tracking number out, but then the package sits there for 3 or 4 days. So once the package is in motion from Germany to me, I will know whether it's going to be 3 or 4 days or whether it's going to be like 10 or 12, right? So give me a little bit of leeway if you added on German scrap with your shipping of your package, just because I want to ship everything together. I don't want to ship like 2 packages, one now, one in 5 days. It doesn't make sense, right? So just give me a little bit of leeway with that. Most of you guys who join me here for live streams, some of you add on and some of you don't, but there is a whole nother group of people who only buy privately after the fact. They don't purchase in the live. They don't come here during the live. So I'm just kind of trying to take care of both groups of people all at the same time. So that's that. Tonight, we're going to craft. I have been working on finishing journals because I have not finished or offered for sale, with a small exception. I have not finished or offered for sale a journal this entire year. I finished them. They're done. All the ephemera is made, but they're sitting here. And so I took a count. I don't know, like last week or something. I looked around and I took a count of how many journals I have in process. And I think we counted something like 17 journals laying around here. And we need to get that done. The unfinished projects are real. And so we just need to finish them. So over the weekend, while I had a migraine, I didn't feel that great, but I was able to get in here and do some work on that kind of stuff. I did finish 7 of them. So now I am down to 10. Well, one is, so I finished 8. 1 was already done. I finished 7. I have 8 done now. I have 9 left to do. And so we're going to craft tonight. And the journals that I'm going to be working on, I'm going to put a closure on a Christmas journal first, and that journal is done. And then I'm going to work on the botanical journals. The botanical journals were a kit, a monthly journal kit, and it was offered in the month of March. We made it throughout March and April, I believe. And so I have 1 of those done, and I have 2 that are near complete. They literally just need assembled. I need to collage the inside of the covers of 2 of them, but very close to being done. All the ephemera is done, all the pockets are done, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to work on those 3 because those are like the next series, right? I'll do flip through videos of the journals that are done. And once I post the flip through journal, because a lot of people are asking, right? This is the way it works. I have offered journals for sale before I was finished with them. I don't like to do that. If you claimed a journal, there are 2 of you who claimed a journal a long time ago, and I wasn't quite done with them. You're going to need to claim those journals again, because honestly, I don't even remember exactly. I have an idea, but I don't remember exactly who did that. And so those journals are done. If you would still like them, because it has been at least 3-4 months since you did that, those journals are done. If you still want them, reach out to me and say, hey, I still want those journals or that journal. But other than that, I'm going to do a flip through video. And from now on, I just can't sell journals until I'm done with them. It just doesn't work well for me. It doesn't work well for me creatively. So I'm only going to sell journals when they're done. I'm going to film a flip through video. When you see the flip through video on the channel, which could be as early as tomorrow, there might be one tomorrow morning, a flip through video. When you see the flip through video, the journals will be shown in detail in that video. And then if you would like to purchase one of those journals that's shown, you can send me a text message, and I will go with the first people who send me a text message. Normally, like I've never had to post a journal in Etsy yet, because they all sell before that, right? So all I'm saying is, if you're wanting a journal, because several of you have been asking me for months and months, right? And it's just that I don't want to sell journals until I'm done with them. So anyway, I'll do the flip through videos. You guys, if you want one, just text me. And then after you text me, you'll be put in line, and then I'll invoice you for the journal. If I can ship it safely with what else you have here. I have no problem combining it. If I don't feel like it's going to ship nice, like if you have a big, huge bunch of books or something, I don't want it to get squished. So we might have to ship it separate just because it's a little, I don't want you to get a journal that's all flat like a pancake because a big ledger was on there. I knew you were, Catherine. I knew you were. And that's the one I'm going to put the closure on. So if you still want it, I'm going to put the closure on right now. I won't do a flip through here tonight, but you'll see me put the closure on in a minute. But anyway, then there was one of the quilt ones. It was an antique quilt one, not the fairy quilt one from last year. Someone claimed the middle one of those, I believe. And so that person may or may not be here. I don't know. But anyway, those ones are coming for the flip through first. And so if you're waiting on a journal from me, the videos will go up. You'll text me. We'll work it out. No big deal. So the ones I have done are Catherine's Christmas journal. I have 3 antique quilt ones from 2024. And then I have one very old one that was a neutral junk journal that was actually a giveaway. And I tried to give it away for the 1,000 subscribers when I very first hit 1,000 subscribers. This journal has been here for like 2 years. It's been laying over there. I tried to give it away in a giveaway video. The person never contacted me who actually won. And I should have probably went back and just picked another comment, and I intended on giving it away again. So we might do something special with that one, but that one's laying here. And then there are 3 other ones. Oh, the French blue lady journals. The 3 of those are done. They're actually behind me in that bin. The quilt ones are over. The quilt ones are here. I can't do it backwards. The blue ones are behind me. The quilt ones are over there. You see that? Okay, Catherine, no big deal. I'll save it for you for sure. And Marcella was the quilt. Okay, perfect. So you both are here. Awesome. Well, yours are all done, other than your closure, which I'm about to do. But anyway, I'll save those for you guys. But there will be 2 other quilt ones available and the 3 blue ones behind me. So still have journals coming. After I get those filmed and uploaded and all that kind of stuff, I'll have the botanical ones coming up for sale after that. There will be 3 botanical ones. I'm not sure if there's going to be 3 of everything yet, but because I do have a list that I also have to fill, but there's 3 botanical journals that are going to be done next. Then I will do the 3 fairy journals. Then you will see me finish the 3 French country journals. After I do that, I'll be caught up. It's so crazy to be behind like 17 journals. That's crazy. So anyway, we're getting it done. I'll be resting. I'll be mentally resting, knowing that I don't have any unfinished, except for 4B journals. I won't have any unfinished journals. Oh my gosh. I forgot there are 4B journals from like 3 or probably 5 years ago now. I don't know, but there are the after I get everything else done, we might revisit B journals. But anyway, once I pick the country journals, the French country journals done, I'll feel more comfortable and ready to move on to fall and Christmas journals. I need to clear off some workspaces in my craft room in order to move forward with getting out all the fall crafting supplies and getting out all the Christmas crafting supplies. So anyway, that's kind of the point of it, is just to get caught up before I make a huge mess again. So I want to make a new junk journal kit for us. At the present time, if I do live sales, I don't have any extra time to build a junk journal kit. So I think I'm putting this out there. I think I will not have sales this week at all, to try to give myself the bubble to get caught up with you guys, and hopefully get some journal kits going for September. So September, we are going to have junk journal kits. They might not be there on the 1st of September, but don't worry. Whenever they come out in September, we will work through them until they are complete. If it takes us 1 month or 2 months or whatever, that's what we're going to do. So we'll have a craft kit, a journal kit. It's a physical journal kit available for the month of September. I am doing the pink journal kit, but that's not the one that I'm planning on doing this time for us in September. I'm not sure exactly yet, but I want to do a different one. There's one that I want to do, and so I'm trying to make that work. The pink one is easier to do because it's mostly done, but the one I want to do is harder to do. But I think in my mind, it's where my mind wants to go creatively. So we're just going to go with that. Anyway, there will be a kit in September is the point of it. And hopefully by the time that kit rolls out, I'm all caught up on my journals. And I hope that you guys get all caught up on yours. I know a lot of you are caught up. You did your French country journal, and a lot of you are way back with me in Botanical, or even the blue French country, or the blue French lady one. I know lots of you guys are also running behind. So we're going to take some time. We're going to get those journals done. Mine should be done within the next 10 days, as long as everything goes smooth. But yeah, if you're on subscription, you're just going to get an invoice for your kit. When I come out with the September kit, for those of you, because there's a lot of new people, right? For those of you that are on subscription for monthly junk journal kits, these are physical kits that have everything to build a journal in. You'll just get an invoice and your kit will ship when it's ready. If you have a package that's outgoing at the time the journal kit is ready, then I can stick it in there unless it's going to get squished or whatever. But I will try my best to marry that up. Next year, they will definitely be married up because there's a change coming with them. But for now, I will try to get them married up so that you don't have to pay 2 shipping charges on it. I'm reading your thing. But anyway, for those of you who are on subscription, you don't have to worry about it. You're going to get a kit. For those of you who are not on subscription, plan for the monthly junk journal kits. When the kit is done and I can bring it here and show it to you during a live sale, I will. And that's when I will sell them. So there will be some extra kits, but not that many, just like every other month. Now, if your first time buying a kit with me was French country for the last month's kit, I made like something around, I don't want to say the number, but a very large number, much larger than I had ever done before. And it was just because I had enough supplies to do so. When I make this kit for September, it will, however much supplies I have, I'm going to use, if I make the journal kit I want to make, there is a finite number of journal covers that I can make for you. I cannot make unlimited journal covers for you, because there's only so much of a certain source material here, and you cannot get the source material anymore. So whatever I have, I will make all the kits for subscribers, and I will bring any leftover kits that, haven't already been claimed by subscribers here to a live sale. When I do that, the title of the YouTube live will say new journal kit, or September kit, or kit release, or something to tell you that's the night I'm selling a kit. I will also try to send you a email letting you know what day the kit is going to be sold at the live sale, and you will have to be present to claim those kits. If all of those kits sell out that night when I first present it, then there won't be any more kits because I can't make more this time. In July, I could make a lot of them. This time, I can't make that many because there isn't that much material here. So that's that. If I make the pink one, I probably could make more, but I want to make this one. I want to make the one in my head. So we're going to try that. I have 0 kits of any kits left at all, Cynthia. I don't have any kits left of any of the previous kits. Every kit that I have had has always sold, and there is no additional kits left. The next kit is the September kit. And like I said, you either have to be a subscriber already. Subscriptions aren't available anymore either, and they won't be available until 2026. So if you want a kit subscription, you will have to wait till 2026. If you want just the September kit when it comes out, you'll need to pay attention to your email, or if I send you a text notification that I'm selling the kit, and you'll need to be there that day to be there to claim a kit. That's just the way it works. I do my best to fill all the requests, but it's just impossible because people are joining all the time, and you guys have a life too, and so sometimes you can't be there, and it just, I do my best. If there are kits left over past that first presentation, then of course, I'll offer it to you again or whatever. But right now there are no fairy kits. Yeah, it's going to be a great kit. And there is going to be some digital printable things that I include. I always do that for you guys too. So we'll have a wonderful September craft kit and we'll make a beautiful journal together like we always do. But anyway, I'm going to flip the camera down. We're going to get started on putting the closure on Catherine's Christmas journal. And then, in case you were wondering, there's two Christmas journal kits coming. So for the Christmas 2025 season, holiday season 2025, there will be two kits. One of them is less Christmas, but still sort of Christmas holiday, right? One of them is more holiday, and one of them is a definite I'm a Christmas kit. So if you don't celebrate Christmas, there is a kit that can be tailored more, maybe whatever holiday you do celebrate or winter in general, but there will be two kits available for Christmas 2025 or holiday, however you want to say it. There will be two kits available for that. I might do a fall themed journal kit. I was planning on it, but we have a lot of other kits I also want to make. So I'm not sure if we'll get a fall one in, but if we do get a fall one in, it wouldn't be till October. You can buy all the kits as long as there are kits available. When I come out with the two Christmas, I think that's what you're asking. Yes, you'll have an option to buy both. At Christmas time last year, I did a very special live sale where we had lots and lots of things going on and lots of special things that aren't generally offered the rest of the year. We will be doing something similar to that this year as well. Thank you for saying that, Shauna. I appreciate that. The journals are very fun to build, and I hope that you guys, you do, you tell me you do, that you like doing it with me. You like, how we do it as a group. We, everyone takes their kit and the materials in the kit and takes it into different directions. A lot of people try to make basically what I'm making, and that's super flattering, right? Like, some people think that I would get upset about it because like it's a copy, and I have said this many, many times. I am super flattered that you think what I'm making is something that you would also like to make. So when you guys do that and make it like, oh, she put this here, she put that there, I'm super flattered. It never offends me. People ask, like, I've had people message me and say, this person is copying you and they're not even like giving you credit, and they're out there posting that they make this beautiful journal, but they're not even like saying that they made it because you made it. And I'm like, listen, you all can craft whatever you want to craft with whatever you buy from everywhere. You don't have to give me credit. You don't have to like, oh, I made this because she showed me how. You don't have to do that. I appreciate when you do. Sure, it helps out, my channel, my whatever. I appreciate it, but don't ever feel like you have to. And I've never told you that you have to, or that I want you to, or that, it's a requirement or anything like that. I would never say that. You guys are big girls and boys. You can make up your own mind of what is appropriate, what isn't appropriate. Just, do whatever makes you happy. And if making the same journal that I make makes you happy, maybe it's the first journal that they've ever made, guys. Maybe they really do need the step by step, and that's why they do, a kind of similar journal to me, and that's great. But a lot of you guys take the kit and you make it completely different, and I love seeing that too, because it kind of shows me your style, your creativity. Like, I like seeing how you guys came up with different ideas than me of ways to use things. So whatever it is that you do with the kit or any other supply that you buy here, it makes me feel honored that you guys are doing that. Whatever it is that you do, unless you're out there trashing me, of course, but none of you guys do that. Whatever you guys do with the stuff is your business, and I'm very flattered and honored that you guys are doing it. So just thank you for all of the things that you guys do, but nobody needs to message me and say, they're not giving you credit or they're copying you or whatever, because I don't think that's the way this community works. I think maybe other communities work that way, but I don't think that's the way this one works. Oh my gosh. So we're going to make a journal. Well, we're going to work in a journal. So let's go ahead and get this camera flipped down so I can shut up and we can get going. Yes, I did have coffee today. Who can tell that I had coffee today? There is my coffee. Will you have finished the digitals for the French country? I think I have. I don't think I used anything other than maybe one floral background page in the French country ephemera that I haven't. Everything that I have used, except for possibly one page, has been offered to you. It was either included in your kit, your physical kit, or is available in Etsy. I will try to finish the French country things. There was like an ephemera and an extra page kit. I will try, but I do need to have time to do that. I will try. But I don't think I used anything. What specifically are you looking for me to do for you as a digital? Sorry for the coffee. It just was there. What specifically did I use? Just tell me so I can see if I can just quickly upload it or what needs to happen. You crafted with me today? Yay. I'm glad that you guys are crafting with me. I'm super glad. Again, it makes me feel very honored that you guys are crafting with me. And I am very honored with, because lots of you guys do link me and lots of you guys do give me credit. And I do like that. Obviously, you know, it it does help out the channel. And, you know, everybody who has a YouTube channel is like, oh, okay, you know, it's not all about the numbers, but the numbers certainly can help, right? So anyway, thank you for those of you linking. And even in my own Facebook group, when you guys link, so there was a change to the welcome message. I do have someone helping me out with some of the, you know, computer related tasks now. Facebook group monitoring, chat monitoring, that kind of stuff. And so there was a change to the welcome message in the Facebook group. The welcome message used to be very general, and now it basically explains to everyone who I am, because there has been a kind of thing happening in my Facebook group where my Facebook group is public. Everyone from Facebook can join it. And a lot of people join and they see your guys' posts of, oh, I made these pockets from Kate today. Kate's video showed this and I made this. And then everyone's like, well, who's Kate? Where's the video? Can you link the video? All this kind of stuff. So to kind of cut down on a lot of questions you guys were being asked in the Facebook group comments, as well as the multitude of questions I get asked, I just figured we're just going to put this information straight out there. And then everyone knows, everyone at least has been told one place where my channel is, where to find the 365 videos, the link to my Etsy, who I am, what I do, whatever. And that way, at least the information is out there, like, right? Because people are like, well, because even to me, this is so funny. You guys, I don't know if you guys will find it funny, but I find it hilarious. People message me in Facebook Messenger from the Facebook group, because you guys know I don't really do Facebook Messenger anymore. But anyway, people on Facebook who do not know who I am will see like a post of mine in my Facebook group, and they'll be like, well, you're not allowed to post sale videos in here. And I'm like, well, that's true. People aren't allowed to sell in the Facebook group, but I do post my videos, my Facebook Live and my YouTube Live video into my own Facebook group. And then they're like, this isn't your Facebook group. It doesn't say it's your Facebook group. You can't just use this Facebook group. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, but it is my Facebook group. And I'm sorry that that makes you upset. And she's like, well, I was just trying to defend the owner of this Facebook group. And I'm like, well, I am the owner of this Facebook group. And it's fine. It's all good. Thank you for letting me know. It's all good. And then the other questions that I get are like, so I saw that you posted a link to your YouTube, and I don't know who you are, but you make ugly things. And I'm like, you realize this is my Facebook group that you're in, and you're messaging me saying that the stuff I posted is ugly. We don't like that kind of behavior in this Facebook group. So I just don't think it's a good fit for us. And then they get banned. So these are the things, right, guys? So anyway, I think people just don't generally know who the Facebook group belongs to, which is kind of weird, right? Like, I think I would look at who a Facebook group belongs to before I would maybe even join a Facebook group. I don't know. But I guess people are different. So anyway, people just didn't know. Now I've told them they can do what they want to do with the information. But telling me that I make ugly stuff and posting ugly stuff in my own Facebook group is a surefire way to get you banned. Because if you're saying that to me, you're probably saying that to other people. And nobody needs to be told they make ugly things. First of all, I know I don't make ugly things, so you're not going to bother me with it. But I just don't want you being nasty in my Facebook group. Because if you're nasty to me, you're probably nasty to other people. Anyway, so that's that. There are just always people like that. I guess they're just everywhere. So I'm going to mark this, and we're going to do a little closure. I'm going to come right through those strings. We're going to do a little closure. So this closure on Catherine's journal, it is an eyelet type closure. And you see that I'm punching it with my crocodile, and I'm setting an eyelet in there. Normally I would have done this already, but for whatever reason it didn't get done in this one. So I'm putting the eyelet in there, and I'm putting my little washer on my eyelet. And then we're going to put some seam binding in here. I like making the 365 videos. I think they're very fun. I wish I had more time. And I wish I had unlimited crafty inspiration, and, you know, like sometimes I feel crafty and sometimes I don't, just like the rest of the world. But it's hard to come up with things that are constantly, at least not done before on my channel. Like, I'm sure they've been done somewhere at some point for someone, but it's also just hard to come up with 365 different ideas, because as a whole, this community, that's what I'm saying. Like, this community, it really, a lot of it is repetition. What I mean by that is, say a very popular YouTuber makes a video, then there are, like, the next day 50 copycats. And when I say copycat, I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's bad, you shouldn't do it, whatever. I'm just saying one person will make a video, and then instantly the next day, if that person's channel has quite a few subscribers, people then make the same video, and maybe they give that person credit, maybe they don't, but I just don't know that there's that much original ideas left. Like, it sure seems like everything's kind of been done. I know it hasn't, but finding original ideas is pretty hard, right? And I'm not saying that mine are like original. It's just I haven't done that video, whatever, on this channel. But I'm just, it's hard to figure out what to make the video every day. Like, can you guys imagine? You have to sit there and make 365 different videos with different, like, content every day. It's a little bit challenging. There is a lull sometimes where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just don't know. I could just sit there and be like, well, I could fold paper this way and that way, but even that, most of it's been done, so it's just hard. I have to wait for inspiration to strike, and then when it does, I have to also be feeling up to crafting it. Right? I don't feel crafty all the time. Surprising enough, right? I mean, I love it. It makes me very happy, but I don't feel crafty all the time. If I have a headache, I'm certainly not feeling crafty. But anyway, so there are 365 videos. There will be 365 until the 365 is done. No matter when that, when we hit 365, no matter when that is, there will be videos up till that. And then we will move on and do a different project. But I don't know why I pulled two. I don't need two for one journal. There is a theme, but I don't tell you guys that until I show you the journal kit. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm in between. I'm contemplating. I'm in between deciding. Once I make the kit, then obviously I will know. And then I will show you guys. And you guys don't have to buy the kit. I've said this a lot, but a lot of people don't know. You don't have to buy the kit from me, the physical kit. You don't have to buy it. You can just use whatever you have and make whatever you want to make. Like if you want to make the same theme as me, or you want to try to make the same exact journal, but you want to, you know, use what you have instead of buying something new, you can totally do that. Can you just tell the colors? Nope, I can't. There are only so many ways to fold a piece of paper, but you know, it's just kind of like, I don't see, maybe I'm not looking in the right place. I don't know, but I don't see that many people doing different things anymore. I see most like, you know, the same thing over and over and over again. And it's just really hard to find, you know, like somebody who is trying to be like, oh, I want to do this different, right? I don't know. I just don't see that much inspiration. I think I need to like revisit, you know, I'm all over the place, but from scrapbooking days or card making days, you know how they had, and maybe they still have them, some like crafting magazines. I know that I get a subscription for that, art journaling and something else journaling, whatever it is, the very expensive magazines. I get those. And there is some original stuff in there, but most of those projects are mixed media. And well, I like some mixed media. Mixed media takes a lot of time, and I don't have that much time, and it's messy, and I don't know. I'm just not really, I'm just not as much into the mixed media aspect as I am to like just, you know, paper crafting, whatever. So the point of my statement was maybe I need to revisit some of the card making and scrapbooking magazines that I have laying around here from a very long time ago. And maybe there's ideas in there, because even if, here's the way it works for me. If I come up with something that I haven't seen somebody else do, it doesn't mean it hasn't been done. It means I haven't seen somebody else do it. A lot of times that inspiration comes from, I see something and then I'm like, oh, but if you folded it here and you added a pocket there, it makes this. Or this card, you know, fold whatever design, you could use that for journaling instead of card making. Or maybe you have a scrapbook, you know, magazine, and it's got some kind of, I don't know, ideas for layering stuff or something, and that sparks another idea. So usually I see something and then it inspires me to make a specific piece of ephemera or pocket or whatever. So there's the closure on that guy. Alternative materials. Yeah, but to be perfectly honest, there is some videos on like we're going to make a journal from trash or from entirely recycled things. But when you make 365 videos, when you make YouTube videos in general, you want the video to appeal to as wide of an audience as you can. And so a lot of the ideas I have are very specific, and very few people will watch those videos. And instead of making a video, this is how YouTube works. And a lot of you guys know, because a lot of you guys have channels that are bigger than mine. I see who's subscribed to my channel. I know you guys have bigger channels than me. You will know what I'm saying is true. if you make a video that appeals to a small audience, you upload that video, and then that small audience watches it and loves it and leaves comments, and then 100 people unsubscribe to your channel because you made one video that wasn't for them. And so that means even though they liked the previous 1,000 videos because they subscribed, but you made one that wasn't quite their cup of tea, unsubscribe. And a lot of people unsubscribe as a punishment. I'm being 100% honest. I'm probably saying stuff that no other YouTuber person would tell you. But that people use the subscribe and unsubscribe as a punishment. If you upload a video that they don't like, they unsubscribe. That doesn't mean that they're not going to watch your stuff. They're still going to watch every video you make. And then when you make something that they're like, oh yeah, that was good, they'll subscribe again. I don't get the mentality of it. I don't really care, but I'm just saying, you kind of have to make a video that appeals to as many people as you can, or it's something you really, really want to make. Like, there's ideas that I could make because I know a certain small portion of you would like me to make it. And eventually, you know, we might do that, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to make videos that make a lot of people happy instead of being like, oh, I really think this ridiculously, I don't know, this ridiculous idea is cool. If I think it's cool, I'll make a video on it, even if it only appeals to this many people. And then people will unsubscribe and whatever, leave nasty comments. But I'm trying to not make people mad at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. I haven't seen that paper, the new paper. I haven't seen that one. The only ones I have a subscription to are the it's art journaling and something press. What is it called? You guys know what it's called. Anyway, making YouTube videos is multifaceted. I do what I like. I do make videos that I like. I will not make I will not make a video just for the sake of making a video. That's why it's hard. Because there are people, so if my only job and my only source of income was YouTube, I would make what people tell me to make, and I would make what makes me the most money. My only job is not YouTube, and my only source of income is not YouTube. Therefore, I can afford to make what I want to make, what videos I like to make. And then people either unsubscribe or they subscribe, or whatever they do, right? But for some people, YouTube is all they have. And so they do have to, you know, constantly fight that stream of, you know, making content that really makes people happy. I try to make people happy just because I like to make people happy, but I'm never going to make a video that is purely for the fact of this is going to get me clicks. That's not who I am. You guys know that. I have other things in my life that honestly take over all of my time. I'm not focused only on YouTube. If I was, I would never miss a video. I'd still be waking up at 2 a.m. to make a video. Like, it's not for me to do it that way. It might be for you to do it that way, but it's not for me to do it that way. So whatever you guys decide to do with your channels is great. But for me, I can only make videos that I genuinely want to make about a subject I actually care about. And I can only make things in styles that I like. I can't make a video and make something where I hate it, or if it's offensive, or I just can't do it, right? So I just do what I do. People do what they do with the subscribing and unsubscribing and whatever, thumbs down, thumbs up, don't care. I just make what I make, and you guys do what you do with the content. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to work in these journals. These ones. We get into so many subjects, or I do. We're going to work on those. I have a massive pile of things. But at the very, very bottom are 2 other covers. I need to put this pile of papers somewhere, and I have 0 space to do that. So I'm going to put it in my chair. And we're going to get started. You have to do you. If you make art for other people, if you tailor what you make as a creative person, When you don't want to make it just to make someone else happy, you're not going to enjoy the process. And most likely your art isn't going to be that great because your heart wasn't in it. Your heart has to be in it. In my opinion, your heart has to be in it for it to be good. For it to be truly good and for you to be happy, your heart has to be in it. If you're just going to make whatever because somebody else made it and you hate it, but somebody else really popular made it, that's kind of the wrong way to go about it. Just make what makes you happy. And if you're making YouTube videos, make videos that you're happy with, put them out there and let people do what they're going to do with it. So these are 2 covers. They are collage like this guy. This is the Botanical Journal series. This one is done. And I have 2 more that just need assembled, basically. So this is the collaged cover. They were made on these bases. So I used a giant mailer thing. I have the front side. These are the fronts of the journals. I have those collaged. I need to very quickly collage the insides. I have my signature pages. I need to print one more, or on the back of one. I was trying to do that before I hit the live button, but ran out of time. But anyway, my signature, I believe, is printed. So I'm going to collage the inside covers. I'm going to assemble 2 signatures. And I will probably sew 2 signatures in, depending. I think we have plenty of time. So I'll probably sew them in. And then I think we can glue pockets in and put ephemera in. So very soon I will have the 3 of these done. I have the topper made for this one, and I have the beginnings of the topper for the other ones. This is the topper and the closure. It has elastic band. So these ones will be done very shortly. When these are done, I will work on the fairy ones. One of the fairy ones is complete. The other 2 are basically in a similar state where everything, I think the signatures are sewn in the other 2 fairies, but basically they need all the pockets put in. They're all made. I don't need to make any more ephemera. At this point, I have too much excess ephemera that also needs to be organized. So when I finish up all these journals, I can go through my ephemera boxes and organize my pre-made ephemera to make myself aware of, okay, you have 80 pockets, but you have 10 journal cards, so you need to focus making journal cards. I need to know what I have so I know what to make, right? So anyway, we're going to work on this. Maybe you guys didn't finish yours. Maybe you want to pull out your botanical journal and do it. If you didn't get one of these botanical journal kits from me, because they were sold way back in March or April. March. I think we sold it in February and made it in March and April. Anyway, if you didn't get one of those kits from me, clearly you can make a cover like this. It doesn't even have to be made out of the mailer envelope. You could just collage a piece of cardstock and you could have a cover. You can print the same digitals, because all the digitals I'm using, I have linked before, and I will try to remember to tell you who they are. But all the digitals that I put in here are in Etsy, so you can buy those. Everything that I've made for ephemera was made in 365 video, so you can see all of that, because there's some really unique pieces of ephemera in these journals. So you can totally still make this journal even if you start on it right now today for the very first time. It's possible. You don't need anything specific. It's all there. Okay, so anybody have a question for me before I actually sit down and get ready to collage these guys? Anybody have questions? Questions. If you're asking me a question, it needs to be about crafting or junk journals, please. Some people are asking like very inappropriate questions. So I'll just try to remind you guys, not necessarily here tonight, but in my personal life. Some of you have asked some inappropriate questions. I don't know how to say this without just calling it out, but please keep your questions to me regarding business that we have together or making junk journals. Questions about my relationship status are off limits on this channel. That's something I'm never going to talk about with you guys. That's very private, right? So anyway, there's that. No question. Okay. Which piece of ephemera for French country did we need? Somebody was asking that. Just because I'm here in like on your TV or whatever, like there is still a line there. I hope you guys know there still is a line there, right? Like there is a line of I'm here, I'm public, we're hanging out, whatever. But there still is that line of private, right? So let's just find that line for some of you. Oh my gosh. I had too much coffee, I told you. I need to quit getting the extra shot in there. Okay. You can ask about German scrap. Oh wait. Harmony. It wasn't necessarily like that. It was just weird. But anyway. Um yeah. We're just gonna leave that right where it's at. It can be any envelope. When I covered it, you don't see any of this. It can just be a piece of cardstock too. I left it as an envelope because on the one, I didn't cut this one yet. Did I? I didn't. On this one, the reason why I used an envelope is because I kept that window that's there for this tag that's in here. It needs a little tab on it. But I kept that envelope there, or that little pocket there. I need to fix my little tab situation so I can pull that out. But I kept this. I collaged over this one. And then back here on this side, I cut the top open so you have this gigantic pocket in here on your back cover. So you could stick some really big pieces of ephemera that maybe you're working on or you're in the process of working on. Truthfully, there's probably going to be a notepad, and I have, I saved, where are they? I saved these. You know how we get like little packs of ephemera from Tim Holtz, and they come in these little cardboardy things. I've always told you guys to save these because they make amazing, cute little notepads in like 2 seconds. But this little hinge thing, I was kind of thinking about attaching a piece of cardstock on it so it will slide in this pocket. And then I will have the little notepad back here that, you know, you can take out the whole notepad, right? And then you'll have the little notepad. But I just thought this was a good little starting point for making that. I obviously could just fold cardstock and make it too, but we're repurposing trash, so that kind of makes me happy. Anyway, so I did use some of the pockets, but if you don't want to, you know, if you don't care about the pockets, there's other ways of making these pockets. Just use a piece of cardstock. This is a 10 by 13 envelope. So this is a bigger journal. This envelope is 10 by 13. Just invoicing will happen tomorrow. And if you have a question about German, yes, you can message me. Just text me, rewatch the German scrap video, write down the numbers. Every package of German scrap was numbered that night. Write down the list of numbers you want and text me your list. I will still fill all German scrap orders until I do not have any German scrap left over. I did reorder, so there is plenty at the moment because you guys bought way more than I had that night. You didn't buy it live like that, but you bought it later like that. So anyway, I had to place a new one because there were too many requests, and you know, it was like the first time I offered it, and I think a lot of people just wanted to stock up in that first go round. But after you guys already have it, you probably, you know, it'll take you some time to use it. So probably again next year is when we're going to do the next order. Okay, moving on. I need to find some collagey bits. I have no pieces pulled or anything like that. So I just need to start pulling all of this kind of stuff out and get it organized to where I can use it. I kept my covers very neutral, with the exception of there was a little bit of botanical book page mixed in there so that we would have some of that organic looking stuff on the cover, botanical stuff on the cover. So this is a good scrap busting thing. Like you can totally go in your scrap bin and pull out all those pieces that you have been passing by time and time and time again, and just clean out your whole scrapbook. These need to come out of here. This is why you need them in a plastic bag, because this like catching on each other after you cut them, like normally I would never store it like this, but I was just making videos and this is what happens. So normally if you cut into it, you need to cut it all because it's just going to get caught on each other. But anyway, there's that needs to get out of there. And we have some Florentine paper. If we wanted to put some on there, we could, as long as it went with the color theme. I mean, every little piece at this point can come out and we can evaluate whether or not it can go in this cover situation somewhere. I also have these kinds of things. So you could totally take this botanical kit or journal and make it a fall journal very easily. I mean, I have French country. I have everything in here. So we're just going to pull some scraps and make a huge mess. We're going to glue some scraps down. Then we're going to sew some signatures in after I print that last page. I just need to get them done. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I do it. I did craft, like I said, just a little tiny bit without you guys over the weekend to finish those blue ones. So right now I'm keeping it all pretty much neutral. Even some bigger stuff. I don't put cardstock on when I'm collaging. I keep everything thin when I'm collaging. So for the covers of these, just thin stuff. We might want to make some more scraps. We might want to make more scraps. We'll see how many scraps I can pull out of here. Here's a big bunch of scraps. All of this. Mess. Yep, that's a mess. I usually don't just shove like all scraps in a bin, but there is a bin that sits next to me when I do the 365 videos or any crafting live with you guys. And I just end up at the end of the video, I'm in such a hurry to move on to the next because I don't have time. And I've just been throwing them all in here. And now you guys see the truth of it. It's a disorganized mess. It's shameful. I'm teasing, but anyway. Yeah. There's lots of scraps in here. Yes, there is. And there's a lot that are like the same thing over and over again. So obviously we'll need to whittle this down. There's some of that. And some of this. We might make some ephemera. I don't know. We'll see. There is an awful lot of scraps in here. Almost there. Sorry for reaching in front of the camera. Here's some of the little botanical book pages. So we need to find some more of that. There was a section in here that was when we were making the botanical journals. Kind of into that section, I believe. Cool. Well, we have a lot. I don't know how much else we need. I guess if I find I need something else, there is a million papers in this bin. So we can come back to it. Here's some cardstock that we needed the other day that we couldn't find. I just need a reset. I really do need a reset of like my whole craft room needing cleaned out. And this isn't my craft room, but you guys know what I mean. Cleaning this bin, these rooms out and organizing stuff. Yeah, we need to do some organizing. Okay, so there's that big gigantic mess. We're just gonna push it over there. Normally I would organize and cut it all down into the right size, but I'm not really in the mood for that right now. So we're just gonna go rogue and do what we do. This page is too red, but perhaps some of these ones could be used. I was sad to see that this book was out of stock on Amazon. I don't know if they put it back in stock, but luckily I have like 30 of them. But if you don't have 30 of them, I really hope it comes back in stock. It's one of my favorite books. All of these are good. Okay. One of my favorite books. Sorry. Reaching in front of you. If you have questions, please type them in all caps and somebody yell at me. I promise to look over there. So I'm going to cut off the white of these. And then we'll cut these up individually. This is Florilegium. I don't have one. Oh, do I? I don't have one with a cover on it in here. Do I have a cover in here? I don't. I don't have a cover in here. It's called Florilegium. And it was on Amazon. Might be available other places. It was on Amazon and then it went out of stock. Because I tried to buy more because 20 apparently wasn't enough or whatever. I don't know how many I really have, but for the things I use all the time, I usually have pretty good supply of them, and that's how I'm able to build as many kits as we need. Because if you think about it, to build 150 kits, you have to have a lot of supplies, right? So there's those, and we'll just pull stuff from here and I'll cut it. All right, we need a chair. We can no longer have all of this stuff in my chair. I will have to go down here. There's my chair. And let me get this done, and then we'll do that. We'll do the signature, and we'll place some pockets probably. I'm hoping, right? Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Let me check Amazon and see. I'll type it. Because it's very, I don't know. It's a tricky word, right? It's not a word we normally would use. Okay. Okay. It looks like it's available, but I'm going to link it. You guys can decide. Is my phone in here? My phone is in here. Yeah, I'm going to link it, and you guys can decide whether or not you want to pay this for it. It is more than it used to be. It's because Amazon themselves are not the seller anymore. It has gone to like a third party. But it is a beautiful book. And the one that I'm seeing right now is $26. So in all, it's probably $7 more, $8 more than it was originally. But here it is. We're going to have to link it in my chat. Link it in my chat. Here we go. The only way I can put things in my own chat is to pull up. Link it in my chat. Pull up my own video on my phone. Because Amazon links, they don't work from your computer, I guess. I don't know. I can't figure out Amazon links. But anyway, there's that. My phone can live up here now. So it is live in there. You guys can click it. That's the book. So I think it used to be like $17 or $18. I'm not sure. It might have been 19 or 20 at one point. I don't know. So we're going to glue these up and we're going to do them. I know that I can cover the entire backside, and I guess I will continue to leave this window open right here. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but let's just cover the whole backside. So I approach collaging these covers just like I do masterboards, where I get it all glued up and I put pieces on it. Kind of, it is just a masterboard cover. Just happens to be done on an envelope. And when you're collaging stuff, don't leave little white areas for air bubbles. Okay. I don't want my glue stick to fall over. It's going to. It doesn't want to cooperate today. So I didn't quite get glue all the way up there, so I'm going to slide it up. There we go. And we'll go over this here. So there's that one. Let's see what we have. This is not old, but it will work. Let's cut it in half. Dictionary of Gardening. Okay. And I don't keep it all going the same direction either. And then we'll come back in and overlap some other pieces on top. I like to mix rag paper, non-rag paper, handwriting, ledger, all of the things. I think it creates a very unique cover. Normally I would cut all of my pieces before I began. It's just easier. It goes faster when all your pieces are pre-cut. And I covered up right there. You have a little strip of ledger that will work. I think it actually fits on there, but just in case. Anything that overhangs will just get cut off. These are really good pages. I'll save them for something else. I feel like the majority of my scraps were down here. So let's go with some music. We need something whiter. Too religious. We'll skip it for now. Maybe this handwriting. Let's do this handwriting. That works. So if you guys want to make masterboards, if you don't want to do this with me, you guys could make masterboards. And then by the end of the craft with me, you guys will have a bunch of ephemera. Masterboards are some of my most favorite things to do. I wish every day I could just wake up and make a masterboard. To be 100% honest, making a masterboard is so relaxing for me. Collaging like this is also so relaxing. You have to just let it go. You can't be, you know, so worried about what you're covering up. You just have to do it, you know? Almost like speed is better. And then at the end, if you're unhappy with the way something looks, I didn't leave that little window right there. I decided to just collage right over the top of it. If you're unhappy with the way that something looks when you're done with it, you can always add another layer. On masterboard specifically, you could always add a whole nother layer if you didn't like it. Like if I don't like the way this comes out right here, I would just add some other little bits and pieces over the top to fill in and make it look the way I wanted it to look. Paperclip bookmarks, yay! The little beaded things were super cute on them. The little beaded bookmark portion of it was different. You need to have like a trash section. I don't know where that needs to be, but it needs to be over there. It needs to be away from me. A little section for putting trash. So this is going to go here. And you guys do need to use the Uhu glue sticks. When you're making masterboards and stuff like that, the Uhu glue sticks honestly are the only ones I found that will stay stuck. And because this is a cover, it's really important that that stays, you know, stuck down on there. This one's going to go on the other side. My glue is all the way up to the top, and that's why it won't stand up anymore. It's too heavy at the top. You know, it's very strange. Let's put this one on this window. And then right down here, we're going to sew that signature in. I might put something there, portion half over and, you know, half on this side, half on that side to sturdy that up, but we're not there yet. Let's make a trash pile. Okay, we have this. Thank you guys for shopping through the Amazon link too. The Amazon link, so first of all, the Amazon link, it is where anything that I have linked in any of my videos, if you're going to go shopping on Amazon for shoes, for laundry soap, for crackers, for whatever it is that you shop on Amazon for, if you remember, and this goes for every creator who has Amazon associate links, if you remember to go to one of their links and just open one of their links. You can go to my glue stick link or whatever link it is that you see, right? You go to the link, you open the link up, and then you buy whatever it is that you were there to buy. You don't buy the glue sticks. You don't buy the whatever I linked. You just shop for whatever you're shopping for, laundry soap, whatever. And guess what? Guess what happens when you do that? For those of you that don't know, some of you do know this, but when you shop through somebody's Amazon link, and buy whatever it is that you buy, the person still gets the little tiny bit of commission from whatever you bought. If you go to my glue stick link and you buy laundry soap, Amazon gives me like 2 cents. It's like, I don't know, whatever, 1% of something. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not paying more. But when you shop through other creators' Amazon links, Amazon gives you, I think it is basically 1%. Commission on whatever the person buys. I don't see what you buy. Like, it doesn't show me all of that stuff, and your personal information is yours. Amazon just says, hey, they went to Amazon and shopped through your link and they bought whatever they bought, and here's your commission. And what I do with the commission, just so you guys know, when Amazon pays me, is I buy craft supplies. Of course, right? Because obviously I don't have enough craft supplies, but that's what happens when you shop through people's links. And it is very much appreciated. You know, I do often buy giveaway things for you guys from Amazon too. Like we did the markers and the scissors and stuff like that. I've given away books that I bought from Amazon. So I do buy giveaway prizes too, but mostly I'll buy craft supplies, glue sticks. I get my glue sticks from there. So you guys help me stay replenished with glue sticks. I don't know. I just want to say thank you guys for that. But you don't ever pay more. Nobody ever sees your personal information. And most creators on YouTube have these links. So you might decide, you know, you're watching so-and-so today and maybe you're watching a different person the next day or whatever. If you are shopping on Amazon, you might just say, oh, well, I watched this person's video today. I'm going to use their link to shop through or whatever. I don't know. It's just one other way of supporting a creator without you having to actually pay money to that creator. Okay, there's that. I'm going to put it this way so I can collage over the bottom of it. I didn't quite get glue over far enough there. Here we go. Oh no, it's every item that you're buying. You can buy dog food through my glue stick link. In every video I do, there's usually an Amazon link because I'm usually using a glue stick or whatever. And people still to this day ask me what glue stick I'm using. So for whatever reason, And like, you know, there's new people coming all the time. They haven't watched since the beginning. So in the beginning, I would show it like all the time because people ask. And now I don't show it that much anymore because I assume you all know. But there's new people all the time and they don't know. And then they ask. And then the link is there if they want it, right? You don't ever have to feel obligated to buy anything or shop through there or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, did you know that, you know, instead of like making a monetary donation to somebody's channel that you like, or instead of becoming a Patreon or whatever, like those things are nice and they're appreciated too. I don't have them, but I'm just saying. Another way that you can support a creator without it costing you any money is just to shop through their Amazon links. That's it. Oh, here's a fun one. I actually love this. Look at this. Like, this is so pretty. We're going to have to put these little bits places where people can see it. And there probably will be a pocket down here. So we're going to put some of this over the top of this here in a minute. I need to stick it somewhere where I can find it. We don't have any ledger. Like, where is all the other ledgers? Here's some ledger. Here's some crossed ledger. A perfect thing to do with crossed ledger. Let's cut it up. And let's collage on here. Some ledger page. So how are you guys liking the challenge in the Facebook group? First of all, did you know there was a challenge in the Facebook group? Most of you do. But how are you guys liking it? You guys have been posting awesome things. The challenge is literally so simple. You just go to the Facebook group, which is pinned in the description box of this video. And it's also linked at the top of the live chat box if you're watching it live. And you go to the Facebook group. If you're not a member, just click become a member. And then you post pictures of things that you made. They do need to be pictures. You can't post videos in the Facebook group because unfortunately people can't obey the rules with videos. But I don't want to see what porn thing you're watching on TV while you're posting a craft video. I don't know. That actually happened. So post a picture of what you made. And then at the end of the month, which is coming up here soon, I give away a $50 gift card, Amazon gift card. So I could use the commission that you guys are shopping through my links and buy a $50 Amazon gift card to give back to you guys. So again, you'll win a $50 Amazon gift card. Since we won't see, there'll be a signature here. You'll never see side by side. I can get away with putting ledger here. But anyway, you just post and then you win a $50 gift card. Obviously, there's only one winner. And how it works is I just draw it at random. I think random is the most fair way to do it. So every time you post, you get an entry. Every time you post, you get your name entered in the drawing one time. So if you post a whole big bunch, one post per day, right? If you posted one thing from now until the end of the month, look at all that I missed. You would get your name put in there a bunch of times, more chances to win the gift card. And the gift card is just emailed to you right away, so you can shop. You can buy whatever instantly. Here's another fun piece. I have two fun pieces. Okay, what else do I need? We need something here, and something here. Let's do some book page here. I need a little bit more book page. Let's use this book page here. Do you have to use a cap in August? Do you have to use a cap in August? Do you have to use a cap in August? I need a little help with that question, Shelley. You don't have to use a cap. You do have to use a hashtag. And the hashtag is just so I can find the entries. It's just easier when I go to print out all the names. It's just easier for me. if I can just search the hashtag, and then all the entries will come up. And also, anyone who wants to see all the entries can just type the hashtag into the Facebook group, and then it comes up so you can see all of them for the month of August. I think the hashtag is August JJM Challenge. And it's JJM because the Facebook group is called Junk Journal Makers. So there's that. We got 2 spaces. I think we could put a little bit of it here. So if you guys want to go see what everyone else has been up to, I don't really post my own stuff that much in there because I don't really want to flood the Facebook group with all my own stuff. But I said I was going to start doing that, but I just didn't. I'm really honestly terrible about posting my own stuff. I know you guys will be like, I see your stuff all the time. Honestly, I do a video for 365 and I'll post it in there because I'm like, I don't want my stuff to be like front and center. I would rather your guys' stuff be front and center. The rest of the people in the world be front and center. I feel like I get plenty of attention. Let's just say it that way. After hashtag. Yay, Wendy, you did win. You have to use the hashtag, yes. You just use the hashtag somewhere in your post. As long as it's in there somewhere, it will pull up for me to find it. Is that what your question is? So we have music right there. Let's use some of, well, it'll be in the spine and we won't see it. So we really just need to cover, and it doesn't matter what we put because you really won't see it. Here's a gorgeous piece of ledger though. Let's put that right there. So I have done a couple of layers over most of the spine area here. And I left 0 windows, 0 pockets exposed. There's that. Okay, so our cover is done. I'm going to add a little bit of that fancier this over top. Yay, you guys did win. It's August JJM Challenge. If you're asking for the hashtag. And it's just so I can find your posts. If I can find it without, I just do it. But sometimes I don't record it right when you post it. Sometimes I do. So having the hashtag gives me one more way of looking it up. I think we're going to go. Let's go right here with that one. Yep, right there. And then I'm going to lose just a tiny bit of this, and we'll put that one somewhere. Okay, we have one more to do. JJM Challenge. August JJM, Junk Journal Maker Challenge. The name of the Facebook group. I just thought that was the easiest little hashtag. I don't know. There are so many other hashtags that other people are using for other purposes, so I tried to make ours just for us. I don't, want to send you guys on a goose chase that might be somewhere inappropriate or something else. So we just kept it to our own little group. That's handwriting on handwriting. I think we're going to go right here. So that little bit of Florilegium book page, that is literally just there to add a little hint of what this journal is about. A little bit of green, a little bit of color, a little bit of leafy flowerness, whatever. So there's that guy. He's pretty good looking. These will flatten out over time. I'm going to trim off the backside quick, and then we're going to move on to the next one. Now, I can open up the sides of this one, because I collaged right over those plasticky envelope things, windows, I collaged right over the top of them. And because I did that, my thought was I could open up the sides of this cover and have two huge side pockets. Again, the reason why I use the envelope is because it left us lots of opportunities for interesting pockets. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the excess. There we go. So just trimming it around. And that's that one. Okay. Good. And somebody recently asked me about my scissors. These scissors are from Costco. They come in a 3-pack. They're Scotch titanium scissors. They're 3 for $10 at Costco. And they are my favorite general purpose crafting around the house, whatever scissors. I love them. I had brought a whole bunch last year and offered them to you guys for $4 a pair or something like that, just so that I could make the, make it be even and not lose money from taxes and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I don't have any more pairs of them here for you guys. They're also very hard to ship. So honestly, I would prefer if you guys get them at Costco. They might be available other places. If they are, they're just Scotch titanium. That's all that they're called. But they're super cheap, but super good scissors. Okay, so what I was saying is I could open up the sides and then you would have big pockets on both sides, or I could open up one side and one back or something like that. So there's one cover. We need to do the other one quick. Wherever I put it, right here. And I'm just going to start putting stuff down. These little papers that I tear like this, before you put them in your scrap bin, it is better to trim them into some kind of like rectangular shape, just because the possibility, like you might like the rough torn edge. If you like rough torn edge, more power to you, but it makes it easier to just grab and go. Grab and go if you cut them down to rectangles before you start, or before you shove them in your scrap bin. I cannot even talk right now. Anyway, we're going to leave that one whole. We're going to cut that one down. We need some of this. I like this because it is on such a white background. I don't think you guys saw the project that this came from yet. I need to film a couple more 365 videos as well. I didn't get all of them done for this week. So hopefully I get those done. I could be doing that right now, but I'm not. I'm here making this. I think we're going to fill in with some journal flip throughs though. I think those will have to count. This is kind of cut at an angle, so I'm going to leave it. Glue this stuff down. This works really good down here at the bottom, except for this is the bottom. Yes, this is the bottom. Let's do it right there. Oh, lost my glue. We're almost there. You have whatever you want for your output. And this is something that it's very basic once you think about it, but many of us don't think about it. It doesn't occur to us to look at it from this perspective. If you want this to look a certain way, then this has to look a certain way. Whatever your source material is what this is going to look like. So while many of us have a scrap bin that is full of all different colors and all different patterns and just, crazy competing patterns, crazy competing colors, whatever, you need to choose. Like I pulled this out of my scrap bin because this pile is what works for this project. I left in my scrapbook or my scrap bin a bunch of pieces that won't look nice for this project. So you can't just pick up whatever scrap in your scrap bin and put it down and expect it to look amazing. Like you might get lucky, but I think picking out what scraps to use equals this just being so freeing. You don't have to think about it as much because you know everything in there works. It's more about handwriting, ledger, book page, mixing it up, not having things together, whatever the case may be. But I think if you start out with things you like, things that look good with your project, then you will be happy with the outcome. So let's just put this right here. I liked it right there. Trying to get the last little bit of glue out of here, but it is done. It doesn't look done, but it is done. I do sort my scraps too in my craft room, but this filming stuff is not really my craft room. So what happens in here just happens in here. Can't really, I don't have the time that I wish I had to, you know, do it like I was doing it for my own crafting purposes. I now have to do it the way that it works to make videos. It's just different. When you're crafting on camera, it's different. When you're crafting in your own craft room, I put every little thing back, every little thing organized. It's all good. But crafting over here, I don't have really time to do it that way. So it just happens. It all gets shoved in a bin. It just happens. It's all good. Got some smaller pieces on this one. My hands are getting sticky. Let's do this right here. I really do like collaging like this though. And for masterboards, you can make such amazing ephemera from the most simple things if you just make a masterboard. I love the way it comes out. I'm shocked and surprised every time. I've only made one masterboard that I was like, I don't really love that. And honestly, I just stuck other stuff on top of it, like, you know, filled in and made it happy. And again, that was one where I really used things that some of the patterns and colors didn't necessarily look the best together. And I was just a little unhappy. And so I just stuck other pieces on top and made it work. So even if you did make something that you were like, I'm not sure that's my favorite, just stick additional pieces over the top and it's all good. Okay, and then when you're done with these, you can spray them with a spray sealant, like a matte spray to protect it if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. Many people make covers this way. I think Gail's favorite way of making a cover starts with an envelope. Now, she might put fabric or whatever over top of it, but I mean, she may have changed, but she used to make her covers out of an envelope. Do you want a big piece of music? Let's do it. Anyway, I think she likes the way, this is having a hard time here. I think she likes the way that they feel after they're done that way. I saw a video of hers. It pops up on my home screen because I am subscribed to her channel. So anyway, it pops up on my home screen, and I think she started on fall journals already. And I was so jealous. I'm like, I want to do a fall one, but there's also something else I want to do. So we'll get there. If I do a fall one, it'll make me happy, but it might not be right now. I think she generally starts pretty early on hers. That's just a little too skinny, maybe. Maybe we go right through there. That's fun. Let's get something else here and we'll stick that over top. Anyway, she starts and I'm always amazed every time because she's like on the ball. She's got ephemera made and she's just on the ball with Christmas journals, and she's on the ball with fall journals. Whatever season it is, she's there and she's doing it. And I think it's awesome. She has her craft room pretty well organized too. All right, let's use some of this. This is some big angular pieces that were left over from a project. So we're going to make some smaller pieces and make them work for us. Well, we have ledger right there. So we're going to have to go over here now. Some of you guys have been posting your masterboards in the Facebook group, and they have been making beautiful ephemera. Let's glue this whole thing and work over here now. How's your guys' weather over there? Because we're still super hot here. Now, I'm in Arizona. Obviously, it's going to be hot here for forever. But some of you guys, I think you might start to feel the fall weather soon. I saw that some parts of the country had cooled off a little. Let's use this viney one. Put it right there. Get some music up there. Kate, she is not doing all the things you're doing. Oh, well, I'm just saying that I'm super, like, her craft room is so organized and she is on the ball every time. I'm super happy that she's able to do it all. I'm a little envious, and I know, yes, you know, she's not doing all the other things, but she does a really long video every day, and I'm like, that takes some stamina. Because trust me, I know, right? Because I do long things also. But to do it every day, that takes some real stamina, dedication, planning ahead, all the things, right? I'm amazed. Got to get more glue down here. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of people that do the, you know, like hour-long crafting videos every day. Just like that is just so amazing. So amazing. That works. Let's do it. Well, eventually things will calm down and get under control here, and then I can craft more. The end goal is to craft more. The end goal is to make more beautiful things that make me happy. We have a little detour every Tuesday and Thursday. But, you know, looking at all of the things with you all also makes me happy. So there's that. It all makes me happy, but yeah, let's do that there. We have this little section, which I think is missed. So let's cover that up with something. And then we'll put that strip. I keep trying to get that strip in there. Let's put one of these. Yeah, let's put that there. I think the video I watched, or I began, you know how like YouTube will play the little preview of it? It plays like a 15-second preview or something. And so it told me that she was not going to her retreat or something, and she was going to retreat, do like the journals she would do in her retreat there with everyone on her channel. And so that's kind of fun, you know. You get to see what she makes, what kind of journals she would make at her retreat. That's kind of fun. All right, let's do this long strip. I've been trying to get it in there for an hour. Let's do it. I'm going to go lower. Friday nights, yeah. Still not ready for those at the moment, but eventually. Eventually. We'll fill in where we can, right? So let's get something up here because that's drying. I do already have ledger. This is a tiny piece of handwriting. We need something different. I have this one that I want to put in here somewhere. Here's some pieces that are already cut. These are wonderful. Let's use those. Perfect. Got to over glue. And we're just going to let that hang right off the top. And we'll cut it later. All right, we got just a couple more spaces and then we're done. 60s and 70s. I'm just so jealous. I am just so jealous of your 60s and 70s. Oh my. We have excessive heat warnings every day here. And you know, it's August, so of course, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but the heat for me, it's getting really old. I'm getting tired of it. Actually, if I'm honest, I have never liked the heat. I didn't move here of my own free will, so I didn't get to choose where I lived. I was just put here and this is where I am. So eventually I would like to make a change. Yep. It's just too warm for me. I think it's just because I'm old now, but older. Yeah, I would like to make a change. Are changes permitted, you know? When you already have all your family here, like it just would feel like you're abandoning them, you know? If you just left. I don't know. Perhaps one day. Ooh, that's a good spot for that. Let's put that there. People ask, well, what makes it a good spot? Color and subject. So like the color of this is very different than everything that's around it. So that makes it a good spot. Also, the text, even though there's text here, it's different size text and it looks different. And there's no text down here. So I do try not to put text next to text unless it's a different color, different font, different size, whatever. I need to slide that just down. There we go. I have the smallest piece here. My hands are super gluey. Look at that. That's a fun one. It's like super old ink little spill here. Where could we put that to like make that wonderful? Let's put it right there, and it's gonna make me very sad to cut off that little wonderfulness, but it's too wrinkly and it won't work. So we're gonna stick that right there. Yep, I'm in Arizona. It's very warm here. I don't know if that's what you're asking, but let's slide it up. You get a little bit of that natural decal paper there. That's so good. So good. Okay. 1, 2, and that's it. And we're done. Let's put, we have book page. We have book page. Let's put a little bit of this white handwriting. I have some very small pieces. Will any of them fit? No, they will not. Over here it will. And it's a really weird shape. So we're going to try to make this some kind of shape. Oh gosh. It's still kind of weird. I try to keep them rectangle. Perhaps we could have went that way, but it's too late. We're going to go this way now. And so it does get pretty gluey. Yes, it does. Part of the fun. Part of the fun. All right. One last spot. That's all I see anyway. I do see that even though this is naturally deckled, we could use a little more glue here. And if you notice, I smear the glue like up on the edge, and it does help hold it, and as well as create like a little moisture barrier. I have another piece, but I don't want to put that there. I really do think I want music. I didn't put any Florentine or anything like that in here. That works for me. The little addition of purple handwriting is nice. And I need to bring it up a little bit. All right, we're done. We did it. I have 2 complete covers now. And I have the signature mostly printed for both of them. Let me put this cap on this glue. All right, let's trim off the excess of this. Get rid of my gluey parchment paper. Let's try to, we're going to leave this here because if I end up making ephemera or something, we at least have that pile over there. And let me clear out some of this little scrappy trash stuff. Okay. There we go. Now you could sew around these. That would be awesome. Remember, if you're going to make a big open pocket, not to sew your pocket closed. But you could definitely sew around these. Again, you could spray them with something if you wanted to protect them. I don't feel like we have to, but you could. And let's see what else. The focal point for the cover and cover decoration is that bingo card closure with elastic. And I'll show you that too. You could make one of those for any journal using the elastic closure with a topper. So it's basically a topper that just has elastic thread through it. There's that. You can see I need to do a little bit more fine trimming, but there we go. For the most part, we're pretty good. Okay, good, good. There's that. Need to de-sticky the scissors a little. If they ever get super sticky, hand sanitizer works really well. To clean off the goo off your scissors. It cleans off goo of most things, honestly. Okay, so cover's done. We have 2. Looks like this. Looks like that. Folds in the middle. Can be pocket, can be whatever. You know, top, bottom pocket, whatever. So there's 2 of those. We need a little bit of love. The heat kind of helps them straighten out. I like rubbing my hands over them too, making sure that there's not, you know, too much like this right here. If your hand catches it, you're going to need to glue it down. So rubbing your hands over after you make a masterboard is really a good idea. And this little piece here is such a small little sliver. It needs art glitter glue to stay. Everything else feels good on that guy. And this is the other one we just did. And I can see, and I was trying to get this with a glue stick, but sometimes it's just thicker and it just doesn't want to do a glue stick. So put a little art glitter under there. It needs to be stuck. And then there's this little corner here. And we're good. I know it is. I do like doing that. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why I get questions about, you know, my private life. I'm not opening that door. I'm just saying. I do like paper. Not in that way, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so we're moving on. We're going to assemble a signature or 2 signatures. Now, let me go ahead and get this other thing printed. I'm actually going to run and wash my hands, and I'm going to get this other page printed while I'm doing that. So if you guys just give me, I don't know, 90 seconds, something. I know, Sarah. I will be right back. Okay, I know that was more than 90 seconds, but I tried. So let me get the rest of these digital. And we are going to do our best to assemble the signature in the same way as much as I can as this one. I really like the way that this one flows, so I want to do kind of the same thing in the next two. This topper can sit over here. The mushrooms are digital in Etsy. We're going to assemble this. So I need 2 book pages. For the first part, let's just get our pages in order, the digital pages. So I'm going to build this signature different than I normally do because I already know what order I want them. So I'm going to fold my digitals and get them in this order, and then I will fill in the filler pages. So I need both of these. They're not 1 for 1. They're not exact. But they're close. So we're going to closely follow this formula. So there's that one. Next, we're going to do this guy. And he is here. And I'm just folding both of them together at the same time. Cut down my folding time a little. There's those 2. I'm going to have to grab some other things. Okay, this is the next digital. That digital is here. Yeah, it's actually overcast today. I don't know if it's overcast for you, Solja, but it's definitely overcast where I am. I think it's threatening to rain, but we didn't really have any monsoon storms. So, do I have this digital? I do. Even the Eco Die is a digital in Etsy. I mean, it's real, my real Eco Die, but it's perpetually being printed out now. There's that. These ones are Roxy's, these birdie ones. Rachel at Roxy Creations. Those are hers. Happy to support other makers, if and when appropriate. There's that. And if they're nice, right? We had a little comment not too long ago about that. That's why I was making that point. Anyway, when I made this junk journal, I had a long list that I posted in the Facebook group of the exact digitals I was using and the makers and stuff. So if you look in the Facebook group and search for my posts about the botanical journals, you will see all of these kits linked. These ones that look like this kind of stuff, is the file still open? These ones are, hold on, let me look, the paper cameo. These ones are paper cameo. And I printed them on parchment paper to make them look, a little older, a little better, whatever you want to say that. We need another one of these. Do I have any more of those? We need another Eco Die. And I thought I had one. Let me look in my pile of goodness. I mean, it's a massive pile. Let me look in there and see if I have any more Eco Die. If I have Eco Die printed, we'll be good. I think I did, but I know there's some in my craft room across the hall. Yes, they're there. Perfection. Good. There's those ones. If you want the digital, the Eco Die digital, if you want it to look like eco-dyed paper, because it, obviously it looks like eco-dyed paper, but it's not going to feel like eco-dyed paper because it's brand new paper, right? If you want it to really feel authentic, you can kind of give it a little bit of moisture, just like one hit with the Tim Holtz fine mist spray bottle, and then give it a little squish, because eco-dyed paper never comes out perfectly square like this. Even if you iron it, it doesn't come out like this. It has a tooth or a texture and a little bit of wrinkliness. So you can make it look more real, even though it is a digital print, just by kind of faux distressing it a little. Just give it a little bit of water from the fine mist spray bottle. Looks like I have an extra page. Maybe I missed one. But anyway, give it a little mist. Give it a little crinkle. The water is important because it softens the paper and allows it to crinkle a little without tearing. But why do I have this page? Because this is my center. Did I miss a page in here? Oh, I think I just printed an extra. I always have like a million extra printed digitals. I used that one. I think I just have an extra. Because here it is, but we already have that. So that's okay. We have an extra. We'll either put it in or don't put it in, but this is also one of the eco-dyed. I'm not sure if this is an Etsy, but there is this. I try my hardest to give you guys everything I have, but sometimes it just doesn't make it into a kit. I just have like a million things to choose from, right? So I think this goes like, and then my leaves would be upside down. This is going to have to go like this. Maybe that's why this is extra. I'm going to put these in a pile because we don't look like we need these. Okay, so that takes care of the digital printed pages. Now we need to go through and pull out all these extra special pages and layer them in. And so I'm going to take these two signatures and I'm just going to, because I just, I folded them together. I'm going to give them a harder crease, make them lay flatter. I really want to clean up that pile, but I know if we make ephemera, I will need it. So I will leave it. There's my two signatures. I need 2 of the German book page folios. That's these guys. So we just need to find a place to take out some folios. I'm running out of room on my craft desk. So I have to look for where the folios come out and see if they want to come out together. Like this one, it pretty much didn't come out together. Let's see if I can find some strings. Yeah, here's the strings. They've already been snipped, so I should be able to lift out folios. 1, 2, maybe. Yes. Okay, good. There's those. These go in the bin. We'll use those for backgrounds. Then this page right here is a French school book page. And there is one of those over here because we just used something like this for the French country journals. So let's pull out a page or a folio of this. So like there's a folio, but it would need reinforced. And while that's possible, I'm just not really in the mood for it if we can avoid it. All of these are singles, although they are lovely pages. I need a folio, guys. Come out as a folio, please. Please cooperate and come out as a nice folio with no holes in it, so I don't have to reinforce you. There's the signature strings. So there's the signature strings right here. And usually I have a tiny little pair of scissors in here where I can snip these. That pair of scissors is out on the work table. So we're just going to use cutter bees. I don't ever recommend doing this because your cutter bees should just be for fussy cutting, so that you do not risk dulling them. I can't tell if I got all of this one or not. There we go. And we got all of those. Okay, cool. So now we can take out folios. Maybe. Hopefully. Yay. There we go. There's 2 of those. Here's some extra ones for backgrounds, whatever. We're good. Going on. Somebody was making some notes of some homework or something. That fell out of that French math book. All right. So a lot of you guys just got those school books from me in a live sale, or you're getting them now, one or the other. So then we have, this is coffee dyed graph paper. So I need to find some coffee dyed graph paper. I do have it in here. It is in my pile of goodness somewhere. Somewhere in here, there is some coffee dyed graph paper. Right here, we have 1. We have 2. All right, moving on. What else do I need from this pile? This little French book page. I honestly don't know if we have that. Let me see what is in this pile. Let me see what is in this pile. We'll work it that way, so I don't have to keep guessing. I don't think we need any of that. Definitely, this is all ephemera making stuff. Ephemera, ephemera, ephemera. This is ephemera. I think these go in here. I'm not positive. Here's a little bunch of book pages. I know we need one of these in each one, so I'll pull it now. That's a pretty one. Okay, there's those. I know we need one of these. I've seen these pages in here. I don't know if we need this or not. Here's a digital. More digitals, extra digitals. Here's these. I had some extra pages apparently. All right. Is there music paper in here? I'm pretty sure there is, but yes. So one of these. It's easy when you have a formula done already, right? This is why I tell you guys to like make your journals if you can in multiple, because it's so easy. You just follow your formula. Once you've got it down one time, you just follow it. And they make beautiful journals, right? I know these are in there. All these old book pages, they make beautiful journals. We're getting there. I know there's book page in here. I know we need French checks in each one. I know there are an entire folio of one of these in each one of these. I know this is in here. Here's our coffee dyed papers. So for coffee dyed papers, I have different thicknesses here. And I know I want the thick ones. Okay, so there's those. I didn't find any book page yet, but I found a whole lot of other things. There's straw paper here. I don't know if we have straw paper in this journal. There's a bunch of stuff. What is this pile? Here's tons of things, actually. Another portion of a signature. This looks like an entire signature. See, this is what happens when you start and stop a project. And here, look at all of these digital. And I was like, I don't know if I have any more printed. I keep a giant pile of those on purpose because I'm always using them. Okay, so I didn't find that short little French book page, and I didn't find the Florentine paper. Let's make those quick. My piles are less and less separated. But we need this little French dictionary page. We need this Florentine paper. And this one as well. Do I have any more of these book pages? I don't honestly know. Let's figure it out together. Okay, pile of book pages. We have multiple piles of rag paper book pages, so we're going to start looking in this one. I mean, this is exactly the one, but these would work. Even this little guy would work. We also need to look for the other one. This one right here. This is the one I need. And I need it to be folios as well. So there's one of those. All of this stuff is literally just sitting on my desk. There's that. I suggest that you guys make yourself a pile of rag paper book pages and just keep it on the side because you're always going to go to it for backgrounds and things. So there's those ones. We need Florentine now. I do have Florentine in here. I don't know what specific patterns I have, but I do have some Florentine in here. Let's look and see what right here. So this is obviously perfect for one of these journals. I mean, it's too big, but we'll cut it down. And then I've got either of these. I'm going to do this one. Like I said, these could be fall journals. There is another one back here too. Let's do the two viney ones. Let's do the two viney ones. So again, this is just a Ziploc bag that I keep a bunch of pieces of Florentine paper scraps in. And, you know, it's right here. It sits upright like this in a bin, a plastic little storage bin right here. So I keep all this stuff at hand. It's just easier to create when you got it right there, right? So these need evened up, but for now we're going to stick them in the pile and we'll cut them here in just a minute. There might be something else that needs cut while we do it. I already pulled this page. Those are in there. There's those little glassine bags I said we needed. So back to those. Of course, now I will have a hard time finding them, but there they are. I have onion skin paper. I know we need a piece of that as well. There they are. Okay, there's those. Did I put two in here? This is Edith Holden. This is the one I already pulled. So we need the Edith Holden pages. Do we have Edith Holden? We have something similar to Edith Holden, but do we have actual Edith Holden? Usually I keep one of those books in here too, but it's in the other room because I was using it for something else. So I don't see Edith Holden in this pile per se, but we have these and these will work. So we'll just keep moving. Let's see what else we need. A piece of this. This is coffee dyed parchment paper. Or it might be actually, this is coffee dyed onion skin paper, but vintage onion skin paper. And it has a cockle finish on it. It makes it extra crispy. So we need that. That should be down here in a specialty paper pile. I see it. There it is. So there's one. There's two. I already pulled that page. I already pulled the Eco. We need this. This is Antique French school book, handwritten school book. Many of you guys have bought all of these authentic things from me, so honestly, you should have a lot of the stuff to make this journal. Here's the school book. So we're just going to pull out, a folio or 2 folios. We have some blank pages. So if we have some blank, it's okay. It's writing space. I love how grungy that one is. Let's try to use those 2. And we'll save all of this other loveliness. If you guys want these, I have a bunch of these again. They just came. So there's those. Okay. This is a super big page, and I have those. That is onion skin, vintage onion skin. It is so fabulous, guys. I have packs of that somewhere around here too. So that's that super big page. Then we have digitals, belly band. This dictionary, this one is very, very hard to find at the moment because I use it all the time. However, I did keep a stack. So they're there. There's that one. Okay. Now we have coffee dyed. This is a newer ledger paper, you know, that maybe you could get this from Amazon, I think. But this is coffee dyed. So let's find those. Right here. There's one of those and one of those. Okay. As you can see, this journal is super, super fat. It has amazing things in it. We already pulled these checks. We need the Florilegium pages, and I did keep those. I did keep them somewhere. I feel like I've touched them about 10 times already, but can I find them at this moment? Well, here's one. Here's another. That one's got strawberries on it though, and I don't want to do the strawberries in here. So let me pull the original ones I had. Where did I put those? Those ones. I'm trying to move fast. I'm sorry. Those ones are over here. See how strawberry I can use in like maybe even the French Farm or something. I mean, I think we have signatures in those. But these are a little more botanical looking. So we're going to save these and use these somewhere else. Okay, there we go. Then we have the music paper I pulled. We have that already. This antique document. This is a Robin's Egg Blue original antique French document. Do I have those? I should have those. But do I? If I don't have it here, it is right in a bin next to me, but I would prefer to use this stack as most of it's already folded. All right, so I need a page of that. Okay, let me grab this, and we need CD envelopes apparently. Let me make a change. We're going to grab that document, but I don't think I have CD envelopes coffee dyed. Let me see what I do have that we can use. I think we're good with all of that. Oh, hold on. Maybe they're right here. Do I have CD envelopes in this pile? I have millions of other envelopes. I have the stuff to make the toppers. I have stuff to decorate ephemera. Digitals. And you're like, why didn't you do this before you turned the camera on? Because that would require pre-thought. I mean, I did have a pile. I know we're going to need onion skin, so let me pull the onion skin. So here's some very old onion skin papers. I'll pull 2 of those. Do we have CD envelopes? Here's 2 of these, and we're probably gonna need them. I imagine that's why they're in this pile. And I don't know that we put any of this stuff in here. Okay, I don't see CDs. No CDs. Okay. Well then, I can grab them, and I need to grab this. 2 seconds. It's literally out in the hallway and in the craft room. I will be right back. Just 2 seconds. Success. I found CD envelopes. There those are. Just this sitting right next to me. Those documents are right there. Perfect. Oh, you know what? There is another one. There's another one over there. Cool. So we found those. And I almost fell, but you guys don't know that. So we're going to cut this in half. Unless I put a whole one in here. Let me see. Did I fold it back around? What did I do? Did I cut it or fold it? I folded it. So we need 2. There's one, and here's the other. Cool. Done. Done. These. I'm short 1 botanical book page, it looks like, because I don't have the Edith Holden. So Edith Holden is the only thing I am missing. Edith. What are we going to do with you, Edith? I mean, we have to have Edith, like original Edith, don't we? What do you guys think? Do we have to have Edith Holden? Because we could have it, but we could also have this. We could have these. This is kind of like Edith Holden. I don't want to put the tadpoles in there. They gross me out. You can't do the tadpoles. We can't do it. Let's go ahead and do these. I really want Edith, but I don't have a book even started that's close by. So we're going to skip the Edith, I guess. It's so sad. Always need Edith. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to make me go get it. I agree. I need to not be lazy and I need to go get it. So 2 more seconds and I will be back with the Edith Holden. Assuming I don't trip on my way out. Awesome. Well, there's Edith Holden. Was it that difficult? No, but nevertheless. I know. All right, so let's find a place to take some pages out of this one. Let's find a place. There they are. We're going to have to use cutter bees again. So, anyway, we've got our signatures pretty much done. I mean, they need put together, and we're going to cut some pages. And then I have buckets and buckets of pre-made ephemera. We're going to get pretty close to calling these guys good. My other glasses are still at the thing. I need to go pick them up. I haven't had time. I had to take my no line bifocal things back because they make the line, at least for mine, they made the line so low that I couldn't see the reader part of it. The top part was shocking to me because I've never worn glasses in my life, and I didn't know that I needed glasses for distance. I knew that I need them for readers, but I didn't know I needed them for distance. Well, lo and behold, I did need them. I can't put a snake in a journal. I just can't do it. So we will not have the snake in the journal, but you know, he could be cut up and used for collage or something. But anyway, so lo and behold, they, you know, said I needed glasses for distance as well as for reading. I opted for the no line bifocal. I think they call them transitional, or I don't know what they call them. Progressives. I guess they call them progressives. And so I had them made, and the little reader portion is so low for me. I couldn't see. I could like see one line of text, and the rest was not really visible. So anyway, I took them back. They're adjusting them. They're done. I just need time to go get them so I can see. Okay. We have a lot of folding and a lot of assembling in our future. We're going to start. Let's start at the very beginning, right? We're going to start at the start. Novel idea of starting at the start. There we go. Actually, no. Let's start let's start the other way. Reason being is this is where we're at in our pile. So we're just going to start working backwards. I want to have my folded journal pages right here. Okay, folded journal pages. This is my guide. And we're going to do this one time instead of two. So I'm going to do them both at the same time. Folded journal pages. So I have two piles of folded journal pages. We're all good. So in the center, there's just the mushroom digital. There's nothing else in there. So we're good with that. That's our center. Now the next page is this botanical page. So that one is way back here. It's this guy. So he's going to go right there. And then in this pile, he's going to go right here. And we're just going to keep working backwards like that. So the next thing is the CD envelope. CD envelope. There we go. CD envelope. The Edith pages were some of your daughter's favorite in her fairy journal. Yay, that's awesome. Maybe I will like them once they are correct and I can see out of them, but I honestly was really surprised that I needed it for distance. I didn't think I did. I thought my distance was really good. So anyway, well, I'll let you know if I am blind still or if I can see. I have readers on right now, but they're just the Costco ones. And they don't work as well. The new ones that they made for me are much better, I guess. I don't know. That one little line I could see seemed to be pretty good. There's those two. Okay, and now we're on to needing the eco-dyed paper. And that is right here in my pile. Eco-dye. I just want to make sure that my eco-dye is facing what I consider up. I'm going to do it like that. There we go. Like that. Perfect. And after eco-dye, we have this music paper. That is way back here somewhere. Way back here. And I think it just gets folded in half. So thank you guys for doing this with me. I always position the staffs up because I assume, we might put a pocket or something like that at the bottom. So there they are. I really would like to flip this. This one I want to be folded this way. That's me being picky. There we go. There's those two. Next is these little Florilegium book pages. And you can see some stuff will need to be cut down. We'll cut the whole signature all at once. There's that. And that. I am trying to position some things as we go so that everything isn't all in the same place. I just like to see little bits of things peeking out the top, Okay, after this, we have the check. There is a French check in this pile somewhere. Here's one. There's two. The checks get folded in half. These are originals with text stamps. It's really fun to use original things in a journal. Don't you guys think? It's better than hoarding it. I would suggest you scan it so that you do have it to print out over and over again if you choose to, but it is fun to use them. And I actually prefer it the other way. This check has more green in it, and this has less green. This one has more green leaves, so we can go with a check with less green. Again, I'm picky. Anyway, we've got copy dyed paper next. I know I put copy dyed paper in here. There we go. Copy dyed. And it would be easy for me to use those ones, but we have copy dyed over here too. Okay. Eco dyeing does take a lot of time, and you do have to have the right kinds of things to eco dye with, right? Okay, so then we have this digital page, as well as results vary a lot. I have been playing around with the heat press and eco dyeing some stuff with a heat press. More on that later. Okay, there's that. So we've got the ledger paper and the ledger paper. That's more like eco printing, but same difference. I'll just say it. Some people will be offended, but same difference. Okay, then we need this gorgeous dictionary page. Question regarding eco dyeing? Let me scroll up. Let me scroll up and see it. Once I find this dictionary page. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Boil. The ones that I've got the digitals of are all boiled. Boiled in a roasting pan. So then we have this digital. Make your bundle and boil it. But that way is hard because there's so much moisture that your paper gets fragile. It's just a little bit trickier, I think, to boil paper, obviously. But if you look at the heat press, it doesn't use water like that. So it might be a viable option. Now, obviously, you might ruin your heat press, and heat presses aren't cheap. So there's that. But you do you. There's those two. The school book page. And that you can see we folded in. I'll go ahead and fold it. I do like to fold things after they're in the journal more than like right now, because sometimes, you don't know how far over to fold it. You might want to show something back there behind it. So generally I'll put them in big. If I had the table space, I would just put it in my signature like this and fold it later. But for now, I'm just going to fold it. I don't want it to stick out, so I'm going to fold it back pretty far. Okay, there's that. It kind of looks like somebody was taking botanical notes. That's why that's in there. Okay, digital of Equidite again. I mean, I think they come out pretty good. But that's after doing it for years. It's not like my first attempt with it. But there's that. Okay. Then this digital, or not digital, this document. That document is here. Right here. Now, these are original documents from the, I think these are 1700s, and I don't want to fold those just yet. I want to get that in the journal because see how big it is? So I'm going to just leave those in the signature just like that. And we'll fold them here in a minute. Once I can get my signatures into my covers. So I collaged my covers on purpose first so that they had a chance to kind of dry before we actually start sewing, paper into it. Okay, there's those. A heat press is a machine that normally you would buy like on Amazon or something. They sell them everywhere, but they're just a great big iron, basically. I mean, I'm oversimplifying it, but a great big iron, and it kind of adds pressure as well as a very high temperature. It's not really used for eco dyeing, but if you have one, you might give it a try. It's a different method, but it's used for doing a lot of other kinds of crafting, not really junk journal related, but. So there's the little onion skin that's coffee dyed. Then we have this digital, which is the frame. There's that. Okay. After we have this, which is the, that is the Victorian Flower Album, if I'm not mistaken. This digital, and see, it's not a digital, but this book page, it's more watercolor, but it's very different than the normal ones we find. And I think it's called Victorian Flower Album. Okay. 2 of those. See how, like, it's just going to be beautiful. I mean, I'm calling my own stuff beautiful. I know that, but is it okay to iron your rag document before scanning with parchment between? Probably. Obviously, you know, anything can happen, but probably. I have done that to flatten things out before I scan them, if they have a crease or whatever. As long as your parchment paper, you know, I don't really use parchment paper. What I prefer is a very, I have an iron cloth that I put things underneath and then iron over top. It's to protect my iron from getting glues or residues or whatever on it, but it also protects what you're ironing. So it can just be a piece of thicker cotton. I usually just mist it with just a tiny bit of water, put my antique document down on whatever I'm ironing, a felt pad, whatever, and then put the iron sheet over it and then iron. The little tiny bit of moisture kind of goes through the cotton and into that rag document, and it will help smooth out ripples or folds or whatever. But you do, you know, you got to use the right amount of water. You can't use too much, obviously, or your document's going to be wet. But rag paper is very durable, so you should be fine. And honestly, I try to get things as flat as I can before I scan them, but a lot of times it's not possible, or I'm in a hurry or whatever. And then, you know, if you have a ripple on it, it just looks old, right? Like, original papers have little wrinkles on them, little fold lines. So ultimately, if you can't get them all out, it's okay. This bag needs folded the other way because it opens the other way. Yeah, this one too. You guys have other questions? Now's a good time because you can get a pretty much instant answer if I know it. Otherwise, if you guys text me, it's like, I don't know. let me think about that. Let me think about that. Okay, there's that. Now we're to Edith Holden. Good. Now you get just on the fly, raw, unfiltered answers. And then we'll cut down or fold in the Edith. They're too big. There's that. We're almost there. You need those little book pages I put up here in the front now. These ones. Okay. Dictionaries. I need my chair, but soon enough. I can't get to it. I piled stuff in it again. I said that invoices earlier in this live. I said invoices will come tomorrow. I am running a little bit behind with them, but they'll come out tomorrow. And you'll get it in text more than likely. Okay, let's try. I don't want a crease in it, so I'm going to leave it where it's creased. And we will cut that down here in a minute, because I see it's uneven and all the things, but we'll cut that down. So yeah, invoicing tomorrow. And don't worry, like, if it takes a couple days or whatever for you guys to do your payment, it's okay. I'm not selling this week, so you don't have to worry about it. Like, that's not happening. We're just going to focus on doing some fun crafting and taking care of all the things you guys have already purchased. Okay, what did I do for that little... Did I only find one of them? And then I didn't grab another one? I think that's what happened. I also didn't see onion skin in there, so maybe there's not onion skin. All right, well, we have at least one of the little French dictionaries. So let's put it there. And then I'm going to need something else. So let's use one of these. It's about the same shape. It's not the same words, but it's about the same shape. So we'll go with that. Looks pretty good. You got a smaller copy of Edith Holden book? Yes, there are newer Edith Holden books. Those are also available on Amazon. And the newer Edith Holden books, you know, if you're crafting with it, there is a paper quality and printing quality difference. But if you're crafting and tearing it up, you know, if it saves you a little money, or, you know, you prefer that size, whatever the case may be, totally fine to use. Craft paper. Let's see. Are we going to get these done? I hope so. Edith Holden books generally are, the older ones from 1977 are generally not that expensive. It just depends on where you find them at. So we have the last digital. We're all the way to the beginning. I have a lot of things over here apparently I didn't need. But whatever. They're there. So I know that we need these little French math book pages. So there's that. And this one. I'm working on the Botanical one. This was the March Junk Journal kit. I have one finished and I'm about to have 3 finished. And then we do this little German one over the top. I finished 7. I have 7 or 8 journals done. I think I finished 7. And I have one that was already done. And I'm going to do 9 more because that's how many are in process. So we did not need this coffee, this invoice, this French, this ledger, this dictionary, or this one. And I know that is a lie because I know these pages are in here. So let me verify. We're good. I mean, maybe I'm not lying and I'm just confused. I was pretty sure we went through this and got all these pages in here. Did I put coffee in between there? Yep. I put coffee in between there. There's that. There's that. I think I just thought we used these in this journal. I may be confusing which journal those actually went in. Apparently so. So we don't need all of that, but we could certainly stick that in pockets. Yeah, we can certainly stick it in pockets. So it's all right. We'll gather up these things. I like to keep them together as much as possible. Oh, it's because I saw this in the Christmas journal, maybe. I don't know. But these are super cute, and I would like them to go in there. Anyway, there's 2 signatures and 2 covers. So, at this point, I really do need a little bit of room. Come here, pile. And I have lace and all kinds of things going every which direction. Yeah, that just happened. It did. We're going to put some scraps back in the little scrap bin. I'm trying to do it like a deck of cards, and as you can see, it's not wanting to cooperate. It's not wanting to. We'll get it. But look at what fun little pile of scraps. When I see this, I just want to play with it. I need to do another 365 video on scraps so I can just use all of this. I mean, it would take a year to use that many scraps, but... And when I start out to make things with scraps, I oftentimes end up making more scraps. So I'm not really great about, limiting myself. If I know that there's something specific that I want and I have it, then I'll just cut up another page. Instead of just saying, no, you have to use scraps. Now I have hiccups. Okay. This one is done. All right. This is done. It's all loaded with ephemera. Everything is in here. This is done. These two, we collaged the inside covers of these. And because I left them stacked on top of each other, this guy is not fully dry, but he's dry enough. So this is one cover. This is one signature. You can see I have pages that are sticking out. I will need to fold, like I know we're going to fold in this document. We're going to probably cut off Edith. We're going to cut off this Florentine. But now at least, because I left them big, I can see how the waterfall is going. And if I cut them at the appropriate length, now I can continue that waterfall, but within my journal cover. So I'll cut off some pages and fold in some pages, and it will all fit in there. But there's the whole signature for that guy. There's the whole signature for this guy. They're very beautiful. I love them. They look wonderful. Yes, I do leave blank pages. I have done many scrap tutorials, but there's always room for more. Yes, there's blank copy dyed paper in here as well. Let's go ahead and cut some papers and fold some papers. And let's get these to the point where they can be sewn in. I have 0 space. 0. Thank you guys. You guys made this with me a long time ago too. Back in March, you have already seen it. So this is just the other 2 of them. The other 2. So here's the way I want to do this. I want to keep my signature together in the right order, in the right placement. And I want to leave some Florentine paper sticking out. All that is sticking out is Florentine paper. The rest of the book pages are all lined up here. Don't do this method unless you're sure about what you're doing, or else you might be unhappy. But I'm going to trim off just the Florentine paper and just to where I can see a hint of it, because I have several other layers that I also want to see. So I'm just going to do my best here. My paper isn't quite square, so we're just going to do our best. Got a little bit of scrap. We're all good. Okay, next. Put my signature back together. I know this Edith is the next one that needs something done to it. For the Edith, we're going to cut it. So I will use the same method to measure my placement. You could cut your pages to size ahead of time, but I didn't. Almost. Almost. And because it's Edith and it has little page numbers or whatever, you might save those for scraps. So there's that. I think we're getting pretty wide. And that is the last, that's the last cut for the beginning of the journal. Now we just have this document that I'm going to fold. And we folded it differently in the original. In the original, this is the original. In here, we folded it. This way went to the front so we could have a full page of writing. I think that's a good idea. Let's fold it to the front. In the back, where is it in the back? Way back here. And we went front back there too. I don't really know that it matters, so let's see how this one looks. for now, I'm going to take it and fold it this way. This is really old rag paper, so I could fold it back and forth 100 times and it would be fine. For now, I'll fold it there. It's like, no, I want to be over here. There we go. Okay, so that's folded that way. And then we're going to go to the back. And I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, let's fold this one this way. It pains me to fold over those signatures. The antique signatures. It's deckled edge, so you can't really line it up. There's no straight edge on this paper because it's old, right? So you can't really fold it and line up your edges, but I think we did pretty good. All right, so it looks like we have this book page sticking out now, and I'm pretty sure that's the last of the stick out. Let's see for our cover. This is our cover this way. Just that book page right there. And that one gets cut. It just has a white edge. If it has a white edge, I always cut it, unless there's something else decorative that I need on there. This has strawberries too. I didn't pay attention to that. So let's just slip this out this time. There's nothing else sticking out. I can go ahead and leave that one in there. It's not going to hurt it. And we're going to cut it. Let's see if this was enough. Where do we begin? Oh, right here with our CD envelope. Okay. Slide that back in there. We're well within our borders. This signature is complete. It goes right in here. There's plenty of room top and bottom, and there's plenty of room of cover. This is the cover back here. Plenty of room. So this one is complete. We can move on and do the next one. We're going to do the same thing. See, I knew there were other people that hadn't finished them. In truth, I always finish one with you all, and then I have the other two. And it's just because I don't do all the steps on all three of them at the same time. I think I need to start doing that so that I can finish my work on time. I'm going to leave as much as I can. Those will make nice little cluster strips. Yeah, I think I need to start making like all three covers, all three signatures. It just gets a little repetitive for you guys. So you guys can let me know if you don't like that. If you don't like it, then too bad. No, if you don't like it, I can make them off camera, I guess. It just requires more time, right? Just a little tiny sliver of Edith there. Sorry, butterfly. I'm sassy. I don't know why. So like this is a blank coffee dyed paper. I don't use white paper in my journals, like plain printer paper. I just feel like there's so many other options. And I sell my journals, so I don't want to put that kind of paper in there. But, you know, if you have like whites on the back side of your digitals, you certainly could just leave them white if you wanted. Or you could stencil, or, you know, there's a million ways to make paper decorative. If you do have a white one, or you don't have a printer or something like that. But for plain paper, I really don't, I'm going to fold this way. I really don't leave like white in there. I'll leave coffee dyed. I always include coffee dyed. And even the eco dye you can write on. A lot of the other digitals you can write on as well. And you just saw graph paper in there, so there's plenty of writing space. Plus, this is a single signature journal that is at least 25 pages. It is a massive thick journal. The reason why I can put so many pages in this is because that cover is 10 by 13. It allows me enough space to fit more pages in. Okay, so these are the ones I'm pulling out. You love watching me do whatever. Well, I appreciate that because not everybody is that way. Some people are very irritated when I don't do what they want me to do in my craft video on my channel. It goes back to that thing where I was telling you guys, sometimes if they get upset, then, you know, they'll just be a little extra in comments, or you don't know. I try very hard. So there's that one. We're good top to bottom. Even with the stick out stuff, we're good top to bottom. And we have plenty of cover over here. So we're good. We have all three done. These need sewn together. I need to decide if I'm going to sew around the covers quick. If I sew around the covers, it prevents me from making the kind of pocket I want. I mean, I could sew around the rest of it and then leave the pocket part open, but I think that might look a little weird. So I didn't sew around this one, but what I did do is ink around it. And I think I'm going to ink around these two. The inking on these covers looks better. So this one is inked. These two are not. So let's ink around our covers. And let's just make sure our covers are all good and everything the way that we want it. And then we'll decide what else we're going to do. Let's ink. What does Gail say? She says ink and think. There you go. Let's ink and think it. Think on it. I do have ephemera to make. I think I have enough, but there is stuff sitting here. Sitting here that I was thinking of doing. I'm trying to clear out my chair again, so I can sit down and have a sip of coffee because it's 6 p.m. my time. And this is the latest I am allowed to drink coffee. And I still have most of a coffee. So I need to drink some coffee quick. All right, guys. Chat with me while I drink coffee. Virtually chat with me. You guys are very nice. I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you watching. Okay. Do a scrap tutorial. Yes, yes, yes. Scrolling back through your comments. Oh my gosh. When it's humid outside, I'm telling you, it also is humid in here for some reason. There is lots of patterns of Florentine paper that work with the fall journals. As a matter of fact, I saw Gail use some. Gail had a really nice size, journal size page of Florentine paper she put in the fall journal that I just watched her do. That printer will print on vellum, but the laser printer prints on vellum better. The printer that we have, if you have, so I have the Epson ET3850. That printer does not have a rear feed tray. At least I don't think it does. I don't know if it does. Did I ever pop the back open and look and see if you could like manually force it in there? I don't know. I don't think it has a rear feed tray, but it has a drawer and you can put vellum in the drawer and it will print on it. But you have to have two things. You have to set in your printer settings that you are going to print on either transparency, thin, vellum, whatever. There's a setting. I think it's transparency. It might say vellum. I'm not sure, but in your computer settings, change your settings to tell your printer that you're printing on thin paper. Then go to your printer and tell your printer that you are printing on thin paper. You have to do both. Then you also have to buy vellum that is made for an inkjet printer. Inkjet printers lay wet liquid ink on the top of whatever you're printing on. Vellum is plastic. So if you can imagine the way that you spray water on plastic and it beads up, so will your ink if you're not using inkjet vellum. So you must use inkjet vellum in an inkjet printer. If you have a laser printer, it prints by melting plastic powder that is in colors onto paper or whatever you're printing on. Because a laser printer is using heat and melting plastic, it will adhere to anything. It will adhere to wood. It will adhere to glass. It will adhere to anything. Can you put wood or glass through your printer? Probably not, unless you have a very nice printer. But it will print on almost all vellums. I think I've never had a vellum it hasn't printed on. The only thing with laser printers, because laser printers are better. They are 100% better. But a laser printer can never print borderless. It can only print things with a full border around them, because a laser printer has tracks and it can't go over. It can't melt plastic over the edge. It wouldn't be safe. It can't do that, right? So a laser printer will always have a white border. You can print things larger and then cut off that white border, and that can be laser printing. But it can't print borderless on regular paper. It can't print borderless anywhere. You just have to trim off the excess white if you're going to use a laser printer. That's why I got the Epson EcoTank 3850, because it will print borderless and it was an EcoTank. And to be 100% honest, laser printers are very expensive because you have to buy toner cartridges. There is not such a thing as an EcoTank laser printer, because the plasticky powder that melts is very expensive and it has to be placed in these cartridges that lay it all out. It's very technical, right? An inkjet printer is literally just a bin of colored liquid, and it sucks it through tubes, and it has a little dropper that puts droplets on paper or whatever you're printing on. It's much more simple. And so if you want a printer for journals, the Epson 3850 is my recommendation. But if you want a printer that can go a little bit above and beyond and print on some specialty things, a laser printer is handy to have if you have space for both or budget for both or whatever. Hopefully that answers some printer questions. I know you guys want a printer trick video. It's coming. I promise you. I thought about doing it today. It's just going to be like, here's the thing. I'm going to do a printer trick video, and it is going to open up a whole huge can of worms of questions and things that are going to take up a lot of time. Because when I tell you how to print things or how to set your settings or the tricks, people will ask me, well, I have this printer. How do I do it on this printer? Or my computer says this. What option is for my computer? I can't give IT advice. I can give you advice for how I do it and what I have found that works. But whenever everybody's like watching that video, they will ask me stuff that I don't know. Like, I don't have your computer. I don't know what printer you have and where your setting for your printer is. All I can tell you is what works for me and my printer. And so I'm going to do it, but I'm going to have like a little, like, I don't know, a disclaimer that A, try what I'm saying at your own risk. B, I can't offer IT advice for specific printers or specific computer systems, because everybody's stuff is different and it's not located in the same place. There's no uniform thing, right? So I'm just going to tell you what I know. I'm going to show you what I do. And then you guys are going to find those settings in your computer and on your printer and change them. And a lot of it does, like my settings are for my printer and my computer. You can take what I'm telling you and apply it to what you have, but you're going to have to tweak it a little bit, because if you don't have the same printer as me, the numbers that I'm telling you are going to be slightly different because your printer is different, right? So that's why I haven't done it yet, because it's going to open up a can of worms. A laser at work. Perfect. Just don't get in trouble, Lynette. Don't get in trouble. Well, I'm glad that your blood pressure comes down. That's awesome. I need to quit drinking this coffee because my blood pressure is already too high. But, you know, that's okay. That's okay, right? Anyway, my little grandson is, well, he is a week old yesterday. That's what happened. He's a week old yesterday. He's so cute, guys. So cute. I haven't asked if I could share a picture. I will ask if I can share a picture and then I will show you guys. But I don't know if I'm allowed, so I haven't done it yet. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if that they would let me. Like, cuz it's the internet. I know you guys are all safe and stuff, but it's the internet. So, I'll have to ask. Also, how many of you guys have Botox? How many of you guys have done Botox? Now we're going to talk about something not craft related. And I'm going to work on inking these, like I said I was going to do an hour ago. I'm hoping to get him at least one day a week. I mean, I want him every day of the week. I want him every day for the rest of my life. But need to blend this in really well because these are covers and I don't want to have a oopsie moment. So I want him every day of my life. He's so amazing. But I'll ask. We'll see. I have to ink them very lightly because I don't know what's going to happen. So let's just be careful because they're covers. I know I wanted a little bit grungier of an inking job, so we'll probably end up with that. Because he is so cute. So cute. Like, I know all babies are cute, but my grandson, just kidding, we're all the same way, right? We're all the same way. Oh my gosh. I told you guys, I think I told you, he has my daughter's huge dimples. My daughter has amazing huge dimples. Oh my gosh, he has them too. Did I ink that? Oh, we're going to put something down the center, so I didn't ink it. But anyway. It has a little bit of wrinkling, and I'm trying to, like, blend that out. I was all careful, and now, we're just smearing it on there at this point. Cool. Oh my gosh. I love my children more than anything else, and I love my grandchild more than anything else. I mean, not more than my children, but they're equal. Oh my gosh. You guys know, because I've often put family first, that yeah, it's important to me, right? It's important to everybody. So yeah, there's that. He's so amazing though. You forget like how small they are, because right now he's so small because he's only like, well, he's lost a little weight, but he was 6'15", so he's lost a little weight. Because you know how they come out and then they lose a little because, their body has to adjust and all this kind of stuff. Also, I didn't know that they had changed how you feed a baby. You no longer just feed them until they're done eating. You only feed them a little bit, like 2 ounces or something every 2 hours. I didn't know that. They changed that so that they wouldn't have like such spit up problems, I guess. Stomach problems. But apparently now you don't just feed them until they're done. You only feed them 2 ounces every 2 hours. It is a different kind of love, totally. Yes to Botox. Yes, for migraines. I also do it for migraines. And it didn't work for her. I think it depends on the type of migraines you get. I'm very interested in Botox. Let's talk. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so they do Botox for migraines, and I do get it for migraines. But I also get it for other things, obviously, right? You're there. You might as well. And so, for those of you who don't do it and have never done it, I know it sounds scary and it also kind of sounds ridiculous. I will admit that it kind of does. So, Botox used to be very expensive. It is now not very expensive at all. It costs less than your jar of face cream. And it is amazing. It works for many, many areas of concern. And most of us, we spend the money, whatever, on face creams. We buy face creams. We, do other things, makeup, whatever. And honestly, Botox, for me, it kind of just fixes it to where I don't have to wear the makeup and I don't have to do the other things. If I want to be lazy and not put face cream on before I go to bed or when I wake up, I can. So, I did that for migraines, obviously, all the time. And then I got it other places. And I was amazed at what just a little bit of that I'm going to do in the center. I don't know why I'm going to do in the center, but I'm going to do down the center a little bit. Just a little. See it? Maybe you can't even see it, but there is a little in the center. Anyway, there's places by me that do it very inexpensively. And I was kind of shocked at how inexpensive. Because, when it first came out, I don't know, in the 90s or whenever it first came out, it was fairly expensive. Like, I don't know, thousands of dollars probably. But now, my point is, if it's safe enough to use for migraines, it's probably safe enough for the rest of it. And if it just fixes it like instantly, I think that's pretty amazing. So, because I'm a grandmother now, I will not be a wrinkly grandmother yet. not on my face anyway. My neck is a different story. I don't have Botox on my neck, but we're getting there. My neck is definitely showing its age lately. Goodness. Modern feeding method creates a lot of other issues. I think it does too, because he's hungry and he's not sleeping because he's hungry. I know he's hungry. Like we know, right? We've had children before. We know they're hungry. I know he's hungry. Right? That was the other issue, Linda RB. How do you know what 2 ounces is then? And I think she said to like time it or something, but I'm not sure. She's meeting with a lactation specialist. I think she already did, but that's what I was saying. How do you know when 2 ounces is up, right? Yep. I know some people have feelings about it, but I'm just telling you guys, for me, I was already doing it for migraines for many years. I've been doing it for migraines. I used to have such terrible migraines that I regularly spent, my migraines are not normal migraines. I regularly spent weeks in the hospital with migraines. And it was not, they were not retractable migraines. They were irretractable migraines, whatever you want to call that. And they would give me huge doses of all kinds of things to try to get them to go away because I couldn't function. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't speak. Very different migraines. I've had cluster headaches, like a lot of different things because my brain is a little bit different than everybody else's brain. Everybody's brain is unique, right? But the one that I got, this is a little bit different. And it has caused several issues. And one of those issues is terrible migraines. It just has a little bit different vascular structure and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, for me, the migraines were horrific for years of my life. And my children were missing out on their mother. And you guys know I was a single parent. So, how do you be a parent when you're in the hospital for forever, right? So it was really creating some problems. And eventually, this was, I don't know, 15 years ago or so, I went to a specialist for migraines, one of many, and he said, we need to try Botox. You've tried all the other things. We need to try Botox. And so I started doing Botox for migraine way back then. And I noticed as I got older, when it was time to get the Botox for migraine redone, it also took care of forehead wrinkles. And I was like, you know, I was never the kind of person who would do Botox. But after seeing it firsthand with the forehead wrinkles, I was just like, okay, well, you know, let's just see. Because it's just a tiny, tiny little bit, you know, a unit is next to nothing. And I knew it was safe because I had been doing it for migraines. So I slowly tried regular Botox in different areas. And it has gotten to the point now, because of those terrible migraines and cluster headaches, the one side of my face is, it has Bell's palsy. It is actually droopy, and it will always be that way because, you know, it's got some nerve damage and, you know, there's other problems there, right? From terrible migraines. But when you get the Botox, it will also bring up and correct that side of your face. And so for me, you know, it's cosmetic, but it also is fixing that problem. And that side of my face, when it is super droopy like that, I can see it in the videos here on camera. You guys can see it. The one eyebrow is very lower, the eyelid droops, the whole side of the face droops, the side of the mouth droops. It looks like I'm having a stroke basically, but it's just always like that because it's got damage there, right? And so when I do the Botox, it really does fix that and bring it up. And that helps me because when the eyelid is droopy, it gets in the way of me seeing because it droops down below the pupil. So there are some other reasons, but I do enjoy the cosmetic benefit of it all. And so this last time I was there having it done, there was a woman there and she was having it done in her mouth, like the corners of her mouth, where you can get like the frown lines and stuff. And I was just watching her because they do, like, you know, you're right next to each other. And so I was watching her get it done. And the woman who was doing it was talking to her and, you know, figuring out where she wanted it, all that kind of stuff, put it in, whatever. And the woman told me, she's like, yeah, it totally works. It brings up those corners of your mouth and stuff. And so I was like, all right, well, I've never tried it there. It's one unit in each corner. I'm like, okay, you know, this time let's go ahead and give it a try in each corner of your mouth. Well, lo and behold, what everyone forgot to mention is that you will have a problem drinking out of a straw if you do that. Eventually it will loosen up and go away. But at the present time, I would say steer clear of your mouth. Forehead, eyes, great. Mouth, not so much for me. Drinking out of a straw is now challenging. It's all good. If you can't laugh at yourself, then I don't know what to say, right? But I don't think I'll have it in my mouth again. I just I don't think I enjoy that feeling. But no forehead lines, perfect. No eye lines, perfect. Mouth, no, we won't be doing that again. Anyway, there's that Botox story for you. Oh, mine stays there permanently because it's permanently damaged. But yeah, there are things we can do to fix it, you know, and that's great. I mean, I'm not saying everybody feels the need to fix it, but for me, I do feel the need because it does droop over my pupil, right? And if your eyelid is over your pupil, then you're not going to be able to see very well. So there's that part of it. I think we look pretty good there. I see I need to put a little glue. I think I'm happy with inking. Do you guys like my no drinking out of straws story? Yeah, no drinking out. I do, but you will spill on yourself. It can't do the thing. I don't know. The woman next to me thought it was a great idea. And there we are. Oh, well. It will loosen up over time, but because it's only been a few weeks, it will loosen up over time. I've been told. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't look weird. It just can't, because it's paralyzing the muscles, it can't do the motion that your mouth has to do to like close around a straw, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to get myself into trouble with TMI again on this channel, but there's that. No Botox in your mouth. Right? Right? Luckily, there's no one around me, just my son. And he doesn't care if I spit water everywhere. It's like, oh, you're doing that again, Mom. Anyway, we have two lovely cover signatures ready to go. I think we're good. This one has glue right here, and I need to get that off and then ink again. So when the glue stick is a little too messy, it will stick to it. And it's glossy paper. So you can correct it with, you know, the most handy tool ever. But yeah, that's my story. That's my embarrassing laugh at me story for tonight. Well, one of them. I probably told 5, but there's that one. No, you can pucker. It's really weird. I can pucker, I can talk, I can do everything else, but for whatever reason, the straws, only the straws. That's the only thing I'm having a problem with. It looks good. It looks great. It brought the corners of your mouth right up, like no more jowl, no more corners of the mouth down. Perfect. But the straw thing, it just doesn't work with that. It just can't. So we're all good here. I think we were toying around with the idea of putting something down the spine of this one. Now I don't remember whether we were or were not. And I do have some... I have a mess, is what I have. I do have some options. What is this? Not that one. This guy. Sorry for reaching. This one. Okay. I have these scraps that are wound around some cards. Strings everywhere. Okay. We're getting there. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. I really do have a good sense of humor. You guys don't get to see it that much, but I really do. I'm thinking this one. Aren't you guys thinking this one with me? We need to see what the topper looks like, though. Because while I think that's lovely, right? That's option number 1. I think that's lovely. If we wanted to go a little bit grungier, this is coffee dyed muslin. We could also do something that's like this. I mean, I like option 1, but we do have a topper that we need to consider. Where did I put that topper? Right here. And I don't know if we tried this back in March and I forgot about that or what, but if that's on there, do we want to see it? You have to take this one away so we can really look at it. Otherwise, Maya will be like, I don't know. If we have this, and it could be a more narrow strip. It doesn't have to come over as much. It just covers up the collage on that part of it. Maybe we don't have that, but we do have this. I feel that it's more secure to have something go down the spine. Maybe we just do that. So there's number 1, sort of, kinda. And now we can see more collage because we're covering up a lot of collage here. So I think we don't do this paper if we do that. The paper can just go in a pocket. So there's that one. And here's option number 2. Ooh, excuse me. Here, I'm burping. Sorry. Oh, gosh. Just laugh at me. It's okay. I drank too much coffee. This is option number 2. Goodness. I think we still like this one. Don't we like this one better? I think it blends in a little better. The other one is a little dark and it sticks out a little more. You guys are like number 1, number 2, number 1, that one. Number 1. Number 2. It's about even. It is earthy, which is why I thought Botanical Journal. But this one has a cream base and it kind of just blends in more. The other one sticks out like a sore thumb, in my opinion, because, you know, that's very blendy, right? And then there's this one. And this one is very much visible. I mean, I could see either would be fine on here. And I could do it where we put this one on first, and then I kind of cover it where it's like kind of like that or something. We could do both. We could layer them. I layer lace down the spine all the time, so we could do that. You could layer both. Layering both just covers more collage. Well, I have 3 journals, so we can do some one way and some the other way to make everyone happy. Two. That's funny. It softens everything. It feels good in the hand when you have it there, but I think we're going to do the stripey one on this journal. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind on the other one, but let's go ahead and do this one. Oh, wait. We can do this one, but somebody forgot to order some Fabri-Tac from Amazon, so they have a very precious amount of Fabri-Tac. I think I used 3 bottles the other day. So I was doing a big project. So this is how much Fabri-Tac I currently have. This much Fabri-Tac. So we're going to do it. All right, let's see. I want to make sure this is thicker too, and I can't have, because there's nothing else going to go on here. I can't have the glue show. So we're going to have to be very careful. Very, very careful. You know what we could do? Now this one is already sewn in, so we cannot do it on this one. But you know what we could do with these two is we could put the coffee dyed muslin on the inside. We could put the coffee dyed muslin on the inside. We could put the stripe on the outside, and we could leave the coffee dyed muslin stick out higher here above the stripe one. So you will see the little peak of it, and you will see it on the inside. We could do that. Maybe I will do them all 3 ways. I'll just come up with more ways to do it. All right, so this guy's already sewn in. Make sure I don't get glue on that. He'll kind of sit up. Yes, you could. And you could also put some lace down. Like if you did the coffee dyed muslin, the plain one, you could put some lace down there. I'm looking to see where my chapstick has gone. I think my stomach is hungry, and after having the stomach surgery, it doesn't know how to be hungry. It doesn't know how to growl, so it just makes weird noises. I don't know what's going on. All right. I keep my chapstick in this pill bottle now, so I can find it. Let's do this part, and then I think I'm gonna sew those in off camera because it'll take me an hour. And I have a piece of paper here that needs to be fixed. Let's do it. I did 0 measuring other than that one rough measurement, so it better be good. Now, I can't have you show through, so you must spread out, and I don't have a spatula in here. And I'm not getting up again. We had stuffed peppers for dinner yesterday. I have that a lot, but we had stuffed peppers for dinner yesterday. And we have been having green smoothies for breakfast. Green smoothies with, they have no kale, but spinach. I don't love kale. It's kind of gross, in my opinion. I don't love kale. But we have spinach in there. I don't know. There's a little handful, 5 or so green grapes. Honestly, I hate covering any of this collage up. I really like this collage. I should have scanned these, but I put the Florilegium book pages in there, so that meant I can't scan them. I'm trying to spread it with the nozzle. It's not working out wonderfully for me, if you would like to know the truth. And I don't want to stick my finger in there, but I'm about to. All right, that will get us started. I need to go over one more time there and make sure we have plenty right on those strings. And we're good. I know. I don't want to stick my finger in the Fabri-Tac. Oh, I didn't shorten it. I don't want it this wide. Whoopsie. Hold, please. Like I said, I did 0 measuring. So I don't want it this wide. I would like it to be more narrow because I don't want to cover up. So we're going to try this much. And look, I have another one already. It's built in. We have 2. I need to fray it a little. You always have to fray it before you stick it down, because if you ever try to fray it after it's glued, it ain't going to fray very well. There we go. That will work. Now this fabric, the opposite green, you do have to use something to pull thread out. And fray. Perfect. All right, here we go. I think we did pretty good. I think we got it relatively straight. Now I can straighten it a little more by giving it a tug on the ends. We did pretty good. There's the point of the spine. I like that. I like it a lot. I always leave these long and then trim if I have to, but honestly, I don't even care that they're that long at the moment. Let's go ahead and see about adding some extra glue in here. And this time I'm going to add it directly to the edge of the fabric. In a very thin coat because it just needs to stick to paper. All right. Well, this one's really getting done. That's pretty good. Pretty good. More journals off my to-do list. There's a little wrinkle right here where it was wrapped around the card. All right, and same for this one. The cloth tear. Well, we're going to have a fabric covered journal, I believe. One way or another, we're having a fabric covered journal for September. It's beautiful. If I have my way and make the journal kit the way I want, your journal cover will be pre-made. If I don't have my way, then you'll have to make your own journal cover. But the stuff will be there. Oh my gosh. See, I'm like, okay, I did one. Now I want to start another series, right? I'm going to start more journals. All right, we got that really good. That was really good. I'm super happy with that. Okay, there's that. Let's find a place for this because it's going with it. Actually, we have some space back here where I'm going to build the notepad. So for now, I'm just going to tuck it in there. But this is what it looks like all together now. Kind of, sort of. And so if you put the elastic through the way I have through eyelets, it kind of creates these little gore points out here. Kind of nice. She could use scooted down a little bit, but other than that, she's pretty good. And this is a pocket with a hidden, I mean, not really hidden, but a tag back there and journaling space on the very back of it. So there's that. We have a little, I did minimal lace in this one. I don't know that I may put lace on the outside edge, but I don't think I am on this series. I'm trying my hardest to make it minus some lace. Not really sure if it's going to stay minus lace, but that's it for now. Like, I see strings, but these are not signature strings. No, they're tag toppers. Okay. Like, as long as I don't have this upside down. Nope. And I need to put my little beads on, and I also need to put beads on the blue ones. I was going to do that with you guys, but I figured little green glass leaf beads that are going to hang off of here, and then there will be some other beads up the strings. But that's done, and we have two more. So there they are. What color is that fabric? What do you mean, what fabric? This fabric? Oh, on the journal or the journal series, yes. You will be shocked and amazed. That's what I'm going to say. This journal kit is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to be very happy if I make the one I want to make. If not, it'll be less blowing up minds happening. But oh my gosh. It would probably be the #1 selling journal kit I've ever made to date, which is saying something because we've made a lot of journal kits. But I do have that finite resource, so when that is used up, that's gone. Okie doke. Let's go ahead and get some lights turned off so I can flip this camera back around. And could you use rickrack for this time period? You could use rickrack any time period. Rickrack, I don't know when it started. My nose is itching. I think it's very old anyway, so honestly, rickrack can be used for anything. I don't think there's a right or wrong place to use rickrack necessarily. Printer, I'm not trying to print anything right now. Yes, I would like to exit. There we go. So, guys, we crafted. We crafted for 3 hours and 40 minutes minus my chit chat. And what did we do? We put a closure on a journal. We put a closure on Catherine's journal. Oh my gosh, let me make a note of that. I know that one's Catherine's. And the other one is Truth, right? The other one, who is the other one? If you're still here, remind me because I need to write this down. I don't know why I can't remember. But we put a closure on a journal. I collaged the inside covers of the botanical journals. We assembled the 2 signatures. We inked them. It doesn't seem like we did a whole lot, but we did. So anyway, you can zoom in on it. It's all good. My hair's really, really dirty, but you guys can zoom in on it. You know it's dirty when it's like flatter to my head. Yeah, it needs fluffied. Plus my root line's over here, over there. That gets dyed on Saturday. Yeah. I start looking like a skunk with this little white stripe down my part because I have gray hair. When you add light lace to binding, do you stitch the signature first? Yes, because I'm trying to cover up the signature strings and add extra glue to kind of strengthen that signature string holding the signature in kind of thing. I always want to cover over my strings unless I'm doing like a multi-signature spine, or I've got like crisscross or corset or some kind of decorative stitch for a multi-signature journal, then I won't cover them, obviously, because I want it to be decorative and I want it to be on the top layer. But if it's just a single signature, I don't usually embellish the spines of the signature strings of those, because there's not really a weight. I mean, you could add a couple beads, but it's not really that decorative because it's just a straight line. But if you have 3 signatures, you can do the crisscross, which is my preference. If I have 3, I do it that way. Yep. Aw. Well, I just am not ready for the gray. My mother let her hair go gray when it just naturally went. And I mean, in our family, we start getting gray hair pretty young as far as women. At least it seems like that. I probably have had gray hair. It's salt and pepper, but I probably have had gray hair to the point where it needed dyed for at least a decade, maybe longer. I don't know because I've always dyed my hair, but at least a decade I've needed to dye it. So it happens. I'm really not that vain, except for I think certain things are worth it. Certain things, if they make, because I make me happy, right? I'm not looking at making other people happy. I'm not concerned with what other people think about it. I just am more happy with myself. So that's why I do the things I do. Um, different jobs I've had, whatever, you just sometimes feel a little pressure to look a certain way. And I'm happy at this stage of my life to not work for anyone else and not have to be like, oh, I just do what I want to do for me. It makes me happy that way. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it very much. You guys do what you're comfortable with. Please don't judge. When I come and I have complete, like, I don't know, I shouldn't say it because it's judging other people. There's many other things I could do that I don't do. Let's just leave it at that. But I do what makes me happy. That's all. I don't know. There's this whole like that's vain kind of thing. And I don't know. I think vain to a certain point, caring about what you look like it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Taking care of yourself and caring about what you look like is not, oh my gosh, they're conceited, they're vain, they're full of themselves. Because if you knew me, that's furthest from the truth, right? But there are certain things I like to do because it does make me happier. One of them is not having complete, salt and pepper gray hair at 40, right? I didn't want to look like that at 40. I felt like I was too young to have complete salt and pepper hair. That's me. That's my opinion. You can feel 100% different. Platinum hair is in. Maybe I should have just went with platinum hair, or at least it was whenever 10 years ago. But I'm just saying, do what you want to do. Yes, as mothers and as women, and especially mothers, we're always doing things for other people. So if you have a little, something you'd like to do for yourself, I would suggest you go and do it, because for most of us, our children are raised, and now we're at a point where we can do some things for ourselves, right? We can make journals, we can craft, we can do lots of other things for ourselves, right? So if you want to dye your hair, dye your hair. If you want to, how is dyeing your hair different than cutting your hair a certain way? I never really understood that. If you dye your hair, you're altering your appearance. If you cut your hair into a certain haircut, are you not also altering your appearance? So, I don't know. Do what makes you feel happy. um I'm hoping yeah, thank you. Thank you for the apostrophe or star big there, because I was not really sure what that comment was exactly saying, but um yes. Anyway, we're going to stop talking about that kind of stuff and we're going to go on to, I'm going to have dinner so my stomach can stop growling and making other weird noises. And then I'm going to come in here and sew these together. I have some things I need to do for you guys out there. Then I will work on invoicing you tomorrow. So invoicing will be out tomorrow. You guys, nothing is going to leave this house until Friday, except for what is already paid for in case you guys paid an invoice in the last few days or whatever. That stuff will leave tomorrow. But everything else that I'm invoicing you for tomorrow will not leave this house until Friday. So know that. And then it will roll out after Friday as much as we can get done every day. Probably some of you will be till Monday because there's no pickup on Sunday. But anyway, it should be all smoothed out by next week. I will be back here. I will not be here on Thursday. At least I'm not planning on being here on Thursday. I might come on and craft with you on Thursday. That might happen. But it's okay, Lynette. It took me a minute. I'm like, okay. But, I will post on my I will post on the channel and pre-schedule it if I'm going to be live on Thursday. So you guys will know like Thursday morning if I'm going to be live. If I'm live on Thursday, there's not a sale. It is just me crafting. I will probably be on fairy journals, hopefully by then. Hopefully I'm onto fairy journals on Thursday or the next time you guys see me. But yes, I'm trying to finish all my journals. I hope you guys finish all your journals too. It doesn't feel good to have 17 unfinished journals laying around your house, your craft room, whatever. It's going to allow me to finally, because I can't put away all the things that go with them, like all the papers, all the book pages, all the whatever. I can't clean it up and put it away until those journals are done. And I have like 9 piles of stuff that needs sorted and put back into its original home. So I'm going to get some cleaning and organizing done. Going to get a lot of journals done. I will probably film a flip through video for you guys, and it might be up tomorrow or the next day, of the journals that are done. The blue ones behind me are done. The quilty ones are done. And Catherine's Christmas journal are done. There's one other journal in there I don't know what to do with. And then there will be these 3 that were done. The closures, I think you could just tie something around it. You could literally just wrap sari silk around it and tie a pretty bow. A closure can be something completely removable. It doesn't have to be hooked into the journal. I didn't occur to me that that you might want some more information on closures. We could do like a whole video of like, I don't know, how many closures can we fit in half an hour? We could do that. That might be fun. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'm sorry I didn't do live sale. We need breaks sometimes, right? So we'll get back to selling soon enough. You always know that there's amazing treasures coming pretty much every day. There's a package coming from somewhere with something in it. That's amazing. Like I said, I just got all the new school books, the handwritten workbooks. I just got all those. There's just a ton of stuff here all the time. So when I do come back, we'll be back to selling amazing things. Amazing things for amazing people. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I see some new faces here too. Welcome, new people. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll get back to doing Craft With Me lives here shortly too. In September, or when we start the September journal kit, I will definitely be on a regular schedule for Craft With Me lives. At least that's my goal anyway. Yes, text me your German scrap order. The sooner I get them, the sooner I can kind of start wrapping everybody else's stuff up. Sometimes it holds it up because I'm trying to wait and sort everybody at the same time. So there's that. All right, guys, have a good night. I'll see you guys maybe Thursday. You'll see me in the morning in a video, but I'll see you maybe Thursday. If I don't see you Thursday, have a great weekend, and I will for sure see you next Tuesday. Bye, guys.